Salutations, adventurers! Welcome to Roll for Felicity, where we play serialized one-shots in a multitude of systems with assorted players. And today, I am so pleased to be here playing a game that my friend Tag wrote, and they're here on stream playing it with me. This is going to be super, super fun. We're playing a game called okcryptid. If you're new here, my name is Taylor. I use she, her pronouns. I play a lot of tabletop games on here, usually on Saturdays. And I also play some video games, mostly focus on tabletop stuff. And even when I'm playing video games, I'm talking about tabletop games. But that's enough about me. I think I'll let my guests introduce themselves. Starting with Tag. Do you want to introduce yourself to everybody?
Sure. Hello, I'm Tag. I use they, them pronouns. I'm a non-binary game designer, sometimes streamer. I made this game. I've also streamed this game. So I did all the things related to this game specifically.
True. Melanie, do you want to introduce yourself to everyone?
I would love to. Hi, I'm Melanie. My pronouns are she, her. I am often found on this channel, actually, playing games with Taylor. She keeps bringing me back for some reason. Typically playing a goblin is what I apparently am good at. And I'm excited to try to smooch a squid tonight.
Yeah, very excited for that. And then Mila, do you want to introduce yourself to everyone?
Yes, I am Mila, they, them. I am also a streamer here over at Troll Mila. And yeah, I've been here a few times, played a few fun games, and I am so excited for this one.
Very excited.
If you haven't watched our last stream of prepping for it, please go and watch it.
Yeah, the prep stream was just for people just saying really honestly whatever. Just whatever came to mind.
Just getting real buck wild.
It's great.
More beak wild, am I right?
Oh no. No beaks.
We can't.
Beaks.
What? No?
Okay. If you want to know why Melanie's talking about beaks, I tweeted a clip yesterday from the character creation stream that was about Melanie's idea of beaks. Oh my goodness. Troll Mom, thank you so much for the gift sub. That's so kind of you.
Mom.
And congrats, Mace, on getting the gift sub. You have emotes and stuff you can use now. But yeah, so I don't even remember. Oh yeah, so that's on my Twitter. And then also the stream is still up on Twitch. It'll eventually make its way to YouTube, but the VOD is still on Twitch if you just look at my previous broadcasts. But the other thing we always do, which is actually Melanie's idea originally, and this icebreaker question is Melanie's idea also, is have a little icebreaker question for people to get to know us all a little bit better, sometimes for us to get to know each other a little bit better, sometimes we're playing with people who have not played with each other before. And the icebreaker question this time, which, like I said, is Melanie's idea, is, since we're playing a game that's about, kind of dating, I would say. I would say this is a bit of a dating game. Melanie's idea was for each of us to give a piece of dating advice. I'll go first, even though I am not qualified whatsoever. I've barely dated.
You're the most, you're so qualified. You're
no,
married.
I think if you date a lot.
You did it.
One half of us are
You
married.
only had to date the one person, and then you did it. You're done.
Yeah.
You did it
so
so right from the start.
Well, then my sincere piece of advice, especially if you're like a younger person, like in your like teens or 20s, is date someone who likes you and you like them. Which sounds
sounds like a joke, but yeah, man.
If you're dating someone and there doesn't really seem to be anything about you that they like, or even just talking to someone and they're always like being demeaning and acting like they don't like you, just don't date them anymore. I know it feels like this is your only shot. You should stay with them. Don't stay with them. It's not your only shot. You can date someone who likes you and also who you like. That's really my only piece of advice of dating advice.
It's great advice. Honestly.
Solid.
But yeah, who wants to
Can I go
next?
second?
Yeah, go next.
Okay, so as we've grown up, uh, pop culture has told us that the way to have a first kiss is like you'll find the right moment or you do the lean in. And I'm here to tell you that the sexiest thing you can do when going on a first date with someone that you haven't kissed is to ask to kiss them. It is, I mean, like, consent is the hottest thing. And being able to like convey that you are interested in doing this thing with a person and then getting enthusiastic confirmation of that, ooh wee baby, that's the shit.
Yeah.
I mean, even in when you're in a relationship, I still ask Tay all the time if I can kiss them.
I specifically ask for kisses from Mike. I'll just say, can you give me a kiss?
Can I have a little kiss?
I see Mike is in the background, so
I
he's
see
available.
my little kiss.
Swoop in.
Yeah, consent's important, and like sometimes a person doesn't want to be kissed, even if they're feeling it. So that's my best advice.
Good advice. Tig or Mila, do either of you have dating advice?
I'd love to go last.
Oh, fine.
The other married person can speak.
Yeah. I feel like don't isn't good advice.
Don't date.
Okay, well, actually, I'm going next, I guess, because my genuine advice was don't. You shouldn't most of the time. Most relationships are a terrible mistake. A lot of people are just not compatible. They just try and make it work anyway. They don't meet people who make them want to date. They just want to date someone, and that's a very bad idea. You shouldn't do that. Mostly, just don't date anybody. Relationships are hard and messy and stupid for the most part, and when you're in them, you're insufferable.
Okay, I do have two, I think, maybe. But I forgot my first one. My other one was, if you're embarrassed by the person, they might not be the right person to be with.
Yeah.
Because I had that where I was the person who was kind of embarrassed to be around like my ex. I feel so bad about that now. So if you're just like, oh God, I can't believe they're doing that in public, they're probably not the right person for you. To an extent, they also, if they're doing it to mess with you, that's also mean. So, I mean, obviously imbalanced, but don't be embarrassed of your partner.
Yeah. This is all good advice.
What if you're embarrassed for your partner?
I feel like that's okay.
Cool, great.
That sounds like a thing that you need to work on for yourself, then.
Mace is saying this stream, don't date me, a romantic. I disagree with the advice, don't date, but I agree with the spirit of it, which is don't date just to date someone.
Like, if you could just skip over the dating part and just go straight to being like married or like the non-government like version of that, just like super comfort. Oh, I remember the other thing I was going to say. Is just because you don't break up doesn't mean that relationship wasn't like super valid, where like I find a lot of people just are like, oh well, it didn't go anywhere, we were only together for this amount of time. If it was a good this amount of time, that is a good experience, and I think that's great. Sometimes people are right for the moment but not right forever, and that is okay.
You still learn and grow as a person. You like, there's things from past relationships that I've had that like I brought into who I am now, and like I'm thankful for that. And yeah, doesn't mean it was a waste of time just because you're not still with that person.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Sincere part of the stream is over. We're only gonna be
somewhat
for
sincere.
me, I guess. Oh no, actually, sorry. Sincere part of the stream for just a second longer because I'm about to tell you how you can give us money, and I am sincere about that. Which is, and then in a little bit I'll have the sincere part of the stream over. So there are a couple ways you can help out the stream. One, you're already doing it. If you're seeing this right now, you're watching the stream. That's amazing. That's super helpful. Thank you for being here. That's amazing. The other thing that you can do is, if there's a moment during the stream that you think is really good or really funny, and you're like, this would do great on TikTok, this would be great to see on Twitter, like, this is a fun clip, you can put ! marker in stream, just the word marker, like a Crayola marker, and it'll make a point for me that I can go back and go like, oh yeah, I should clip this. This was like a good moment. And you can also put like a description, so you could put ! marker and then whatever, bird slander, and then I'll know what the clip is. That's super helpful. And then the last thing you can do is you can help out the stream with some tips. So it's 100 bits. You can pick one player and give them +1 on a roll. They don't have to use it at a specific time. They can just hang on to it and use it when they'd like to. For, I think it's 300 bits, you can give all 4 of us +1 on a roll. Let me just do this. Which bits are Twitch's currency. And for 500 bits, you can add +1 to the kiss me or kill me count, which will come up. But basically, either make it more likely that the cryptid that we're trying to date likes us or doesn't like us. And if we get $15 in tips during the stream, I will run another stream of this game without Tag. That will be me, Melanie, Mila, and maybe another person. I don't want to commit her to this since I haven't talked to her about it. Where we'll be dating, or we'll be trying to date a piss monster. Because why not? Why shouldn't we do that? And then you can also go to my Ko-Fi and tip the cash equivalent, which is $2, $3, or $5. Now the sincere part of the stream is over, and we're going to be playing this game, and Tag is going to describe the game a little bit, but before we do that, I will say, normally this stream is, like, I would say PG-13. This stream, there's going to be a lot of sex jokes, there's going to be a lot of gross jokes, there's going to be it's going to be a little bit more wild than the stream normally is, so if that's something that, first of all, if you're a child, first of all, if you're under 13, you shouldn't be on Twitch anyway, but maybe this one's not for you, and if any of that stuff makes you uncomfortable, this might be one to not watch, unfortunately. I would love to have your viewership, but I also care about you and don't want you to watch something that makes you uncomfortable. So that's just a general kind of content note for the stream. And now I'm going to turn it over to Tag to talk about their game. Just describe a little bit what we're doing.
Sure. So, this game, okcryptid, is, I said it before and I'll say it again, this is the most indie TTRPG shit I will ever be able to say. Is a GM-less tarot-based game that can be played with 2 to 5 people, maybe more if you're up for a pretty chaotic situation. Ooh,
we did just get a tip. Continue, Tag.
No.
I have to check.
Enough for Piss Boy?
I don't think
it can't be on the first go.
Come on.
What was the last thing I said? It can be played as a solo journaling experience. There it is. I got there. Very excitingly, just earlier today, I got the full and final version of this game. I say final. I might get updates later on. Who knows? I might have some typos pointed out to me or something. But the polished intended version of the game is now available on my itch page, and that's only been up for about 7 hours, so that's wild. It's been an ashcan release, which just means it's an early kind of incomplete release up to now, and it's had a fair bit of additional writing, and it looks much nicer, and those are the main things about it. But the way this game basically works is that we have agreed upon a creature that our characters are all in some way kind of linked to and drawn to, and fascinated by, and by and large, romantically interested in. It is a mysterious creature that has few, if any, substantiated claims about its existence or sightings. And they are determined, hell or high water, to see it again. All that being the case, we have already, as Taylor said before, made our creature. We have made our investigators, which is the characters we'll be playing. And at the bottom right of the stream, you'll notice a bunch of cards set up, which will be how we deal with our tarot cards, which give us scene prompts and clues and the creature's behaviors. That is the really, really broad strokes of the game, and the specifics of that we can also touch on as we're playing, but you'll see how it works. The actual gameplay is pretty simple. Yeah, I think that's
We're going to start with
pretty much all the important stuff.
Yeah, we're going to start with a little bit of an advantage because Mace tipped $5. Thank you, Mace. And said to add +1 to the Kiss Me. So we're going to start with a little bonus.
It might be just a little small on your screens. Yep. But down on the... Oop, I'm getting little news alerts on my laptop. That's helpful. I definitely want that. You can see under each of our names, there is our Kiss Me, Kill Me scores, which we're not going to interact with too much right now. Those are going to mostly come up in the final phase of the game. But more in there is good for us.
Yeah.
So we're off to a pretty strong start. Each scene has what's called a scene leader, which this little red marker on our thing is going to denote for now. Normally the way you pick the scene leader to begin with is the last player to have had a nightmare or some kind of paranormal experience. Since I wrote the game and none of these lovely people have gotten to play it yet, I'm going to just be starting us off. And then from that point, I'm going to nominate a scene leader, and we'll just go around from there. I have a brief thing that I'm going to read to get us into it and to introduce you to our creature. And then we're going to get right into the scenes. Sound good?
I'm so excited.
I'm very excited.
I do want to say very briefly about this thing that I wrote. I wrote it in about 25 minutes, and it is a little funny that it's coming from me, a born and bred New Englander. But in my defense, the guy who wrote the song I'm going to reference, it turns out, is from Natick, Massachusetts. So,
Interesting.
There you go. When you were young, did anyone ever teach you that song? You know, the one that goes 15 miles on the Erie Canal, low bridge, everybody down. Did they tell you that in the original it was 15 years on the Erie Canal? It was written about barge drivers losing their jobs to engines. But we're not even talking about the right Erie Canal right now. No, the barge drivers on our Erie Canal lost their jobs to trains, and a lot earlier. And when the canal got flooded in the early 1910s, well, the last of what was the Ohio and Erie Canal was pretty much abandoned for commercial use. There's bike trails all along it now, and the parks departments try to make it a real attraction. In some parts of the Cuyahoga River Valley, folks will also tell you to stay away from the old canalways when the sun goes down. Of course, when some folks hear stay away, they start asking, from what? And they get all kinds of ideas. Start listening to pretty wild stories about some kind of displaced sea creature, all whipping powerful tentacles stuck in the canals. Locals call the creature Rocky, but the less affectionate types call them the Erie Canal Rock Squid. Of course, no one can seem to prove Rocky's real. Half the sightings turn out to be just a pile of moss-covered stones and canal trash. But perhaps those people just aren't looking quite close enough at the rocks. So, perhaps we should go around and introduce our investigators at this point. I guess I will start us off with that, being that I've just been talking for what feels like hours.
With very good narration, I have to say that's really, really good.
Thank you. I will be playing a character named Hudson. Hudson uses he, him pronouns. Hudson's 28. He works in the canal. Does tours occasionally. And when you meet Hudson, you would immediately think of him as a very practical person who probably doesn't spend a lot of time on things that others might call silly, ridiculous, frivolous. And he's not, by and large. But if you ask him why he doesn't have a cell phone, You might start to see why he's also pretty quick to believe that there is, in fact, a giant tentacled creature living in the Ohio and Erie Canal, and he's pretty sure he's seen it. He's also been known to give free boat rides around certain parts of the canal to people who bring him photographs that supposedly are of Rocky. He won't take digital ones, though. He just doesn't trust it.
Very good. Who wants to go next to introduce their character?
Someone's got it. There we go.
I thought
Just
Mila
remember the thing I have to
like
go
they
do.
wanted to
and
talk next.
I gotta
So.
leave. Actually.
Oh no.
Okay, so I'm playing Ashley. So I'm an influencer. I have about 15K followers, big deal. And yeah, like I was trying to get a photo of the cryptid. I've been looking for them. I just think it'd be really good for my numbers and with my engagement. I think people will just really engage with that. I'm from a pretty smaller town. I really just sorry, I got distracted.
We're all just very excited about Piss Boy. Sorry.
You're so excited.
Yes, I do have to say, while Mila's distracted, thank you, Troll Mom, for making the Piss Boy one shot a reality. Because we're gonna be romancing.
One
My
shot
mother, guys, my mother did it.
Piss Boy, paid for by Troll Mom.
I am so excited. I've been helping her figure out bits.
Oh.
If you've noticed my head pointing down, it's because I'm on my phone, sending a tutorial, trying to take pictures of what I'm doing without looking like I'm on my phone in the middle of a stream I'm on.
Hey, it got us to Piss Boy.
It did. Oh, I'm thrilled. Yeah, and that's basically Ashley. She's very much an influencer, just trying to do that. That's really if she goes to the beach, it's to take photos at the beach for Instagram. Everything she does is really for Instagram, but she's definitely not as much of an influencer as she thinks she is. She's definitely the one who's like, hey, can you send me this cute thing? And the person's like, no.
Pay for it.
Yes. Yeah, so that's Ashley.
That's very good. Melanie, do you want to go next or do you want to go last?
Sure. Sure. Hello. My name is Maureen Biologe, and I'm here to kiss a squid. I'm not going to do that when I talk about her right now, though. Maureen grew up in a suburb of Akron and went away to become a marine biologist and came back like so many people do when they go abroad with an accent that maybe isn't around from these parts. She at a very young age had a near-death experience in which she was saved from the canal when she fell in, and ever since then has been obsessed and fascinated with what lurks beneath the water. And she's got a body you could bounce a quarter off of. She's just so hot.
A whole body.
A body made for wearing a wetsuit, you know?
Oh my god. A body you could bounce a quarter off of.
Yeah.
You could bounce a quarter off a skeleton.
Yeah, you could bounce it off any part of her.
The top of her head, sexy.
Hell yeah. So hot.
So bouncy.
It was such a bouncy scalp.
Her skull never she never completely
Straight up
lost her
rubbery.
soft spot on top of her head. That's why it's... Yeah.
But yeah, I
bounce
will be attempting to do a slight French accent, and I'm so sorry to everyone who has to hear it, because I am not... We'll see. We'll see.
I think it's great. I am going to be playing Salem Winchester, which started out for Salem as kind of an internet moniker. Uses she/they pronouns, and started off in the supernatural fandom, hence the last name of Winchester. But has since moved on from that. Just doesn't really do very much supernatural fan art anymore because, like, the queer baiting and the, really was a turnoff. And now she
Wait, hang on. Are you gonna give? Hang on.
What?
I'm so sorry, but you've just given Salem like a good opinion, and that already is surprising to me.
Yeah, Salem can have good opinions. I'm playing
They're
a fully
allowed.
realized character. I think Salem would not like the queer baiting and supernatural.
Good for them.
Who does?
And so Salem has since moved on from that fandom and now does more of her own work on DeviantArt of it's some tasteful erotica featuring creatures, different creatures. Is really her bread and butter now. And is of course very interested in cryptids, and especially the local cryptid Rocky, the Erie Canal Rock Squid. And so recently has been devoting a lot more of their time towards that, and also went to school with Ashley, which might come up, and is also from Akron, Ohio. And I think that's it. I think that's what needs to be known about Salem.
Ever heard of LeBron James?
Yeah. Many of you.
As the only never. I don't even think I've been to Ohio. I have heard of Akron. I have.
I'm familiar.
And name alone.
Yeah.
Mostly, I am just aware that there's an art museum and a movie theater I like, and that's the extent of my knowledge. I did technically walk there one time, but
it's great. If you're in the area, go to the Nightlight Theater.
Do love that place. All right, right. So we've introduced our investigators. It is time to start off a scene. So the scene leader pulls from the investigation deck. That's me, and I shall. And the first thing. This is a really weird one to get at the very beginning of the game. We've gotten the Wheel of Fortune. So I'm going to put that in our this area, which is called the meeting spread. Interesting. So the Wheel of Fortune, which generally represents luck, change patterns. The prompt for the scene. Creature seems to be going through some sort of intense transformation. They change their physical form or their behavior. How did you learn of this change? Does this have any effect on your feelings for them? So we have a short list of some... gosh, this is such a strange early one. We have a list of some... facts, heavy air quotes on facts about Rocky, our creature. And it's the things that we have pretty consistently heard about them. Or if we have directly seen Rocky once before that we observed. Those things are that Rocky has tentacles, that Rocky has a mossy body, that Rocky turns to stone in daylight, and that they live in the Erie Canal. So we could change one of those things, which it's so few things. That seems dramatic.
Yeah.
It's again, this is why it's an odd one so early. Here is what I'm kind of thinking I might pitch. As I mentioned, Hudson occasionally does tours on a fairly shitty little boat. It works perfectly well. Like it's not like you feel like you're gonna sink. It works perfectly, but it does look like it's been through some kind of industrial shredder and then been like pieced back together after the fact. So all of our characters know that we are interested in this creature. And I think it would be a fair thing to say that we just are out looking for it, maybe. I kind of like the idea that we certainly don't find Rocky themselves. But perhaps we find like a shed, right?
Yeah.
Like it has shed some kind of stony exoskeleton. And so we've found this like weird hollow stone set of remains that like the shapes, they're kind of like suckers on them, and they look like they were the outsides of tentacles. Yeah, I'm thinking what my thought for this is that, like, you know, we all find this, and Hudson's first thought is, okay, well, creatures that shed, right? It's usually because they're getting bigger, right? So
I did not think I
some
could
sort
be
of
any
molting?
more excited.
Multiple ways.
Well, keep it in your pants.
yeah, I mean, is that okay? So that's a good thing for you, I'm getting.
Yeah.
He's fat.
Cool.
You said all
Um,
of it's getting bigger?
Well, I mean, here, look, and you know, we pull up kind of up to one of the like at this short bank that leads up to maybe one of the wide bike trails or something, and there's chunks of it that are partially on that little like narrow strip of grass and partly in the water, and Hudson reaches down and just starts like pulling this chunk up, and it's like this big curved bit with slightly like sharp bits around the where the suckers would be. This is already very big.
I mean, yeah, that's why I liked it in the first place. But
It was mainly just about because it was bigger than you. I mean, I'm bigger than you.
okay, but you
Oh.
can't have any
That's not what I-
tentacles.
That's okay. Big and right. So if the tentacles are bigger, that's cool. I just want to make sure we're
I'm
all
looking at Maureen and
comfortable.
Ashley just like, this seems so obvious to me. And so I'm looking at the two of them for like confirmation of like, this is good news for all of us, right?
Uh,
Oh,
I mean,
Mila, I
like-
think you're muted.
oh no.
I'm there just like, oh no, like absolutely. The term size queen is a thing for a reason, and I'm just taking selfies like with what we found.
What does the term mean?
Oh, it's when you like big things. Like in the way that like Salem's like into it. You know, like big like
Appendages.
things. Yeah, like appendages.
Are you trying to say
Phalluses?
appendages right now?
Yeah, appendages.
Okay.
Maureen's
They
gonna
said
go and like is checking out the moss on this shed, and I think she points out to the rest of you, this is some very fresh shed. So when something
Oh shit! You think it's around?
this is very recent, which would make me think that it that Rocky might be vulnerable.
Oh,
Right now.
vulnerable.
Often, if you think of hermit crab, when they are changing their shells, they are exposed. So he might be a little squishy right now.
This is all great news.
Maybe we should try to find him for no real reason. I think it'd be a really good photo opportunity. Okay.
Let me think here. So, mechanically, the way this works is that as the scene leader, I have to decide what my goal in this scene is. And I'm going to declare that to my fellow players. And I'm going to pick which of my character's traits I want to use for my goal. I'm torn between two of them. There's a couple of options. Characters all have 3 traits, which are curious, charming, and deft. Hudson is very deft, is fairly curious, not especially charming, this one. So I feel like curious makes the most sense, and seems almost always to on the first round of this game somehow. But it is nice to roll all 3 of my dice. But I think I am going to do a curious roll. So that means I'm going to have 2 6-sided dice for this roll. And Hudson's goal is going to be specifically what time of day do we think it is? Do we think it's currently daylight and we've found this thing while it is solid stone? Or do we think that it is nighttime and it just sheds some stone and it's,
Thinking nighttime, but I'm open to either.
I guess I was picturing it being during the day. I guess we don't know how this thing works, when it would shed. If it would be during the day, it would be stone, and then come the next night, shed out of that.
So I guess Hudson is thinking this thing shed an outer layer of skin, and then it had to get somewhere safe. And presumably, if it's now the daytime, if the stories are true anyway, it has turned to stone. And so it probably didn't go too far. So I think my goal for the scene is just going to be to try and figure out where from here it went. Then the way okcryptid works is that each of you are going to choose one of your own character's traits to decide how you are helping Hudson with his goal. Successful rolls give bonuses to my roll at the end of the scene, and I just don't get anything from a failed roll.
And remind me, because you using one of your skills, you can't use that same skill the next time around, or the next scene leader can't use that same skill?
The next time I roll whatever.
You can't use that.
If
we help you with a thing, can we not use our skill?
You can. You can use whichever.
Okay.
The can't do the same thing twice in a row is just per character.
Gotcha.
So if my character used deft this to help you, I couldn't use deft the next time I want to roll something.
Right.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I misunderstood that. Oh.
But we can do the same role as the scene leader. That's what you were saying. Okay.
Okay. I'm understanding now.
So
you're trying to figure out where...
I'm trying to figure out kind of what direction it went from here.
I had something I was thinking of doing, but it would not help with that goal at all. So now I have to try to figure out what I would do to help with that goal.
I think I would use deft to help in that I probably, if I'm not already in my wetsuit, I would go and get it and just immediately dive into the canal to be I'm I'm seeing some remnants this way with the rocks. Seems
And
like there might be.
as Maureen is like immediately going to get her wetsuit, Hudson is already just like in the canal, and it's like barely above knee deep. Much of the canal simply not that deep.
Yeah, and yet Maureen still like dives in and like comes up and like flips her slicked back ponytail, and it's
filthy
so
water.
glorious.
You should really be careful. You could smash your head. There's so many rocks down there.
That is what I'm betting on. She gives you a little wink. What I'm hoping for.
Hoping to smash your head.
Important.
Does that help?
An 8. That is a success. So what that means is that I'm going to get a +1 already to my roll at the end of the scene. However, there is some kind of cost. And now we've got to decide what that is. So this could be a number of things. This is the very beginning of the game, so we don't really have clues gathered to lose or anything like that. However, you could in fact knock your head on the rocks. I mean, it seems like a pretty straightforward one, and that could mean one of a few things. That could mean that the next time you roll deft, you have one less die. You could decide to be a little more rational about it, and like the next time you roll curious, you are missing a die because you might be mildly concussed.
Oh, that's smart. Yeah, I guess that's what I'll do. Roll one less for curious.
Okay. However, you do successfully, find the pieces of stone shed that you cracked your skull on. So I am going to be rolling with at least a +1 going into this. I think as soon as you like knock your head and there's like blood trickling down, I'm just like, I'll get the first aid kit.
Oh no, I polluted the ecosystem.
Oh, maybe Rocky will show up and start bandaging your head, because you said he was vulnerable right now, and so I took that to mean like emotionally vulnerable.
I'm like reaching into the boat. Why would he have bandages?
Well, he would probably use.
Ashley also took it to mean emotionally vulnerable. So, like, while you're saying this, it's just like, why wouldn't he?
He probably has some kind
of.
We have them. Yeah, he probably has some kind of like leaves or shrubs or something that are like medicinal.
Oh, he probably like uses the moss to just like put it on and just like suck up all the blood. Moss does that, right?
Yeah. I've read a lot of fics, like Hunger Games fics. A lot of times they use moss to heal each other.
And don't tell anyone I said this, but Salem definitely knows what they're talking about.
I do.
I don't know. I've read some of your fics, and you never mention any kind of beak, and most squids have a beak.
It's not very sensual to have a beak, so that's why.
No.
Rocky doesn't have a beak.
One would beg to differ.
I'm gonna
Maybe he has like a beak, and then when he like opens up the beak, he has these like really soft, like luscious lips.
We're not doing this. We're not doing this. I know what I want to do to help Hudson.
What are you doing to help me?
So I think that Salem is trying to find like an intact piece of the shed of like a tentacle part, with the, like, she says it's so that like you could see like the tracks, like, oh, you could match this to tracks, but like also, she could use it later for, to as a cast of sorts.
Sure, for your lifelike replica.
Yeah.
Or like science.
Yeah.
You can like make a silicone one because then it also would move, you know?
And it also would. It'd be
For
more
science.
realistic, more accurate for science.
For science.
So I think that would be
Science.
deft to try to like get an intact piece to take away, maybe, or curious. Deft is, I think I only have one in. So let's just do that.
I
Right
think
now.
you're making
Being so deft.
I'm being very deft. I'm an indoor kid. I have never tracked anything before. And I did get a 3. So
3 is a
Very
total
bad.
failure,
Yeah.
and you suffer a consequence for
Yeah.
rolling a 3. Similar kind of thing. We don't have clue cards to lose at this point. One possible suggestion that is in the game is that we could just drop another card into the meeting spread while we are in this state where we are simply not ready to run into the meat creep situation. That could be pretty bad for us.
We do know which direction he is in, so we're like getting pretty close.
We're getting
like,
pretty
Yeah.
close.
Unfortunately, pretty close right now. Early on.
You could do what Melanie did and take some kind of penalty for a future roll.
Yeah. If I take a penalty for deft, that means I just can't roll anything, right? If I only have one.
You
dice
just
for deft.
can't roll deft currently. Yeah.
Honestly, I kind of like that. Well, either add a card to the meeting spread, I think could be interesting, especially since we already have +1 to the Kiss Me scale. Or I lose a deft, but I don't want to add one to the meeting spread if other people don't want to do that.
I mean, I think
Fine
it
either
makes
way.
sense if you do.
Yeah, we're in a good spot for it narratively.
Yeah.
So
Let's do that
It's-
then.
We identified a shed
Okay.
that like happened just the night before. We know which direction he's in. That kind of, yeah.
dropping one
Makes
of the clue cards into the meeting spread.
Nice.
God.
Let's see if it would have been a good one for fun. Nope. Pretty good pick. That would have been a shitty one.
What would that mean?
So when we get cards from the clue deck to put in our hand, we want those to be low numbers if possible.
Because you want it to be lower than the like or dislike.
Oh.
So yeah, when we figure out these likes and dislikes, we want those to be high numbers, because that means that Rocky likes those types of gifts more.
Okay.
Ashley, did you have something that you wanted to do to help Hudson?
Yeah, I was thinking about rolling for curious. Like, what I would like to do is just be like, so taking selfies and then like take like a photo of like a hint.
Just accidentally snap a shot of a really helpful thing.
Yes, I'm not 100% sure what would be
Fantastic.
that helpful, but that's what I'm going for.
All right, I dig it.
I rolled a 5.
Rolled a 5. Well, you fail, but at least you don't have any consequences for it.
Oh, I even had consequences all like prepared. Fine,
Don't
I
have to use
won't.
What do you think narratively is the thing? Is there anything that happens that like is showing that we're closer to our meeting with the monster? Like maybe there's like I'm imagining like I don't know, I always think like cinematically for tabletop games. Like I always imagine it's like a movie or TV show. And so I'm just imagining like after we all leave, there's like a shot later that night of like a shadow kind of going over to the shed and seeing that like it's been kind of desecrated, like we've like really specifically Salem has really messed with it, and so it's kind of like, oh, the creature is like knows of our existence.
Well, let's get to that after I make the scene roll, because we don't know how
that's
that
right.
will have turned out yet. I'm going into it with a +1 from Maureen. Thank you, Maureen. And no thanks to you two. But I'm rolling 2 dice with a +1, so that's not so bad. Shit.
Oh no.
Wow. No, I'm just surprised. That's very, very good. I rolled a 6 and a 4 with a +1. So that is above a 10, which means I not only succeed, but I get a bonus, which is pretty cool for me. Well, well, you two are faffing about with your phones.
I wasn't using my phone. I was actually being hands-on for once. that was my problem.
Yeah, that's a fair point. You probably would have done a lot better with your phone. While I'm helping Maureen patch up the now bleeding spot on her forehead, I'm imagining that she does find another piece, and like that is what you hit your head on. So with that, we've got like, okay, if this one's here, that's where that was. So it seems to be making a trail that way. And what I'm kind of imagining is that we maybe find a spot that there is some like mud in the bottom of the canal that has been kind of like moved aside and dug into, and it seems like once we get down however far away that is, probably not that far, there is this sign of like, oh, it stuck itself down into the earth here to be safe. And I don't think it's there now. But we're like, okay, I mean, that looks recent, and it must have only just left like sometime last night. So we know it's moving around this area. And then to your point, Taylor, I think that idea is great. Like it comes back to the place where it had kind of nestled in, and then notices that's been disturbed, and there's just this shape that we don't see, that
Maybe
kind
it
of
gets a
makes
little
its
bit of
way.
Maureen's blood in the water.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's cool.
And it likes what it tastes.
So a couple of things. I am going to check out one of the likes and dislikes because I succeeded on a curious roll. I forgot the word that's in front of me in 3 different places. So I just get to choose one of these 4. I'm going to go with top right. And that's not great.
I can't see.
What is that, what, 3?
That's going to be a 3 of cups. So, cups, in this case, represent emotional gifts, like heartfelt words and speeches, and that kind of like direct affirmations. And a 3 here means that Rocky does not give much of a shit about those. We would have to find a card that was in that same suit that was either an ace or a 2, for it to be a gift that Rocky would like. It would have to be an incredible speech. Rocky might not, really deal with communication in that way. We don't know.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that can make sense. Because I rolled over a 10, also, I get a bonus. And I think I am going to take something from the clue deck to put into my hand. Since we're in collaborative mode, I'll just show everybody what that is. So that's a 7 of pentacles, which is higher than I'd prefer. And I mean, we don't know how he feels about pentacles yet, but that goes into my hand for later, maybe. But it also might not even be a helpful gift to have on hand. And that is our first scene. So
We did it.
that was pretty good. That turned out pretty well in the long run. Um, Even though we had some rolls working against us. I think I'm gonna nominate Taylor for next scene leader.
Cool.
So I'm gonna move that over on you.
Okay. So I do the investigation deck, right? I hope that's what I'm supposed to do, because that's what I just did.
I was sort of hoping we would get this card, considering the scene that just played out. Every time I've played this, the scene to scene connections feel so weird because they're so dead on. The Hermit is a really cool one to get here.
I set this one sideways, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Also,
so
before you say that, I don't think we said for the benefit of chat. If we did, maybe I spaced out and was looking at something else. But we are playing the meeting spread is to indicate how soon we're going to meet the monster. Yes. And we decided when we did our character creation, we actually may have decided off stream, I can't remember, that we wanted to do 6 cards. So with this, we are actually halfway there.
We're now halfway there.
When the scene ends.
Oh no.
There's not enough kiss me's.
Yeah, we're in an interesting spot. We're halfway there. I mean, the fact that we're at 1 kiss me is great, because a lot of the time you do not start this game with anything.
Thanks
in that.
to Mace the romantic in the chat.
Thank you so much, Mace.
Yeah, oh my god, Mace.
Thank you.
So the Hermit, which generally represents introspection, solitude, and observation. You find a former or current lair of the creatures. How recently were they there? When might they return, if at all? How did you find this lair? Reveal one of the creature's likes or dislikes if your roll at the end of the scene is successful. So if Salem's goal here involves curious, that would mean we would get 2 if you succeed, which would be a pretty big deal. But
curious is my best, so I was thinking of doing curious. That's part of the reason why I did deft last time, so I could get it out of the way. Former or current lair of the creatures. I feel like this should be different than just the hole in the ground. I feel like it should be something more like revealing.
And one point that I try and make in the game is that there aren't really guidelines about how long a span of time it is, like between investigation scenes, right? Like this could be days later, this could be weeks later, or it could be immediately after, whatever kind of feels right to you in the scene that you're putting together.
I was trying to think next, because I don't think it should be immediately after, because I like the idea of like that's during the day, we all like walk off. I'm imagining it's fall, I don't know why, so I'm imagining we were crunching through the leaves and like in the the woods, and then that night the creature comes and sees the ripped apart a shed that it had, and is whatever, feels the way it feels about that. So I think this would be better if it was maybe like a week or so later, and maybe we've all been doing like our own side investigating, whatever we've been doing. Like I know definitely Salem is like looking online and like doing art, and like has reference photos now of this shed, and so I think has like posted some some new art some work in progress art, and then is like, okay, like I've got that out of my system, I really want to like, that's the closest we've ever come to like finding Melanie, as soon as I say come, is just like, oh, what? That's the closest that we've ever come to like seeing the creature. And so I think Salem's like, okay, I really want to go out again. So last time we were going on a walk, do you think there's any possibility that we could go on a boat? Would Hudson have access to like like an actual boat down the canal?
Yeah. I mean, we were on a boat for part of the last scene.
Oh, okay.
The boat that he does tours on are totally available to us.
Yeah, I think this time it's like maybe. I guess it shouldn't be. Maybe it's nighttime. It's like a week or so after, and Salem's like, we should go back to that spot where we found like the hole in the mud or whatever. And I kind of like the idea that there's like, this maybe doesn't make any sense. Like maybe some sort of like abandoned building or something, or like I don't know.
There's so many abandoned like old industrial things along like the canal.
Yeah.
There could be like a more permanent like layer space.
Yeah.
If that's what you're thinking.
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe it's like, yeah, like an abandoned building or something like that. And I think that Salem, my goal in this scene will be to figure out like what, because we know what the creature looks like. We know kind of like where they live or like what kinds of things like that. But we don't really know the personality of this creature at all. And so I think Salem has been like doing all this art and is like, it's really hard for me to do this art when I don't really know the personality of this cryptid. And like I think that'll give my art like the extra oomph if I kind of know like what it likes and doesn't like and that sort of thing. So I think that's my goal. So I'm going to be looking around for like things around here, which is pretty on the nose, I guess, since likes and dislikes is part of the game. But
that's what it's for.
So
it's a dating sim, Taylor.
So I'll roll curious, which is my strongest one, so I'll get 3.
Okay. This is I love the idea of it being like an abandoned building that it like crawls up into.
Yeah.
An old mill or something.
Yeah. This is a really easy one, actually. I think I would like to roll deft to help Salem out. And because it's just kind of like throughout the scene, like how am I helping you to some degree? It's just like, we're checking out this building and we think, okay, maybe this is worth looking around. And then, it's like, okay, well, how do we get in there? And Hudson's just like, oh, hang on a second. And just kind of like reaches into a pack and like pulls out a small crowbar and just starts like popping nails off of a boarded up door.
Yeah.
And then like, we get inside and it's like, oh, this like piece of debris fell in the way, and he's just like, yeah, no, that's fine. And like reaches into like a little belt pouch and pulls out a multi-tool and like one of the 4 multi-tools currently on his person.
No. I'm in love with Hudson.
And it's just like, no, it's just hanging by this one broken screw here, and like unscrews the thing and like pulls it out with the plier end, and like the whole thing just kind of drops out of the way. And just like every time there's some physical obstacle in the way, Hudson's just like, oh no, don't worry about that, and just like grabs a tool from somewhere on his person and removes the obstacle.
I imagine it's also very like Salem's just like charging forward, and so Hudson is like, like pulling a like naily, like rusty nail board out of the way right before Salem like steps on it.
He just like grabs you and like pulls out a pair of work gloves and is like, just, you're gonna get tetanus.
Yeah.
I've had real ventures into abandoned buildings that were very much like this, actually.
I think Maureen and Ashley are kind of behind you too, and like Maureen leans over and is just like, oh my god, he's so Andy. Just like slightly falling in love with all of you as we're hanging out looking for this creature.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, maybe he should do like a DIY YouTube channel or something. Like if he really wants to use these skills, I would probably do that.
And I turn around, I'm just like, I don't know how to make my own YouTube, so yeah, it
You're
seems
on
complicated.
YouTube. They're called channels. YouTube's like an entire thing.
Yeah, I know, and you told me to do one myself. I don't know how.
Maybe you could help him. Seems to be
No, I like already hang
Fishing
out with
active?
Salem like a lot. I kind of already do a lot of charity.
I'm like pulling something down off of something that's like too high. There's like a board like teetering over my head, and I'm like unknowingly pulling it down.
Ever since the first time I played okcryptid, I've not had another game where the other characters weren't mean to mine. That's interesting.
I feel like it was more mean to. Well, I guess that was mean to you.
Honestly.
Yeah, it was mean to both of us.
That's hanging out with other people's charity work.
Yeah.
Yeah, that got both of us,
Like,
is what I'm
yeah,
saying.
yeah.
I'm fully just like popular girl, and then hang out with like the nerdy person like from your school, and it's just like, yeah.
Secretly, you're putting up with the company.
Salem is also gross. Like, I don't think I really described what they look like, but like, definitely greasy hair. Like, definitely like has inadvisable self-piercings that are like infected. Like, Salem is not like necessarily a fun person to be
You
around.
need to post the pic crew that you made.
I
of
did.
her. It's
I
so
posted
good.
it. Like, I
good.
scheduled it for like when we went live. So it is,
hell yeah.
I did make a pic crew of Salem that's on my Twitter.
I didn't make one of Hudson, as I told the others before we started. It's very hard to find ones that look like boys, and it's fine. He just looks like a dude in a ratty sweater anyway. So like,
Yeah.
I feel like I would want to like help with like maybe we get to like a door or something, and then so like me rolling death to try to like open it because I have just like really skinny fingers.
I just realized I didn't
Such
even roll for
thin
my
fingers.
death roll.
Yeah.
I just said I was gonna do it, and we were all like, "That makes
Sure.
sense."
Yeah.
You mentioned so many multi-tools. Of course, we
Yeah.
let you do it.
You distracted us at the moment.
You wrote the game. Who am I to tell you what to do?
That's a 10, so just take your +1.
Nice.
Perfect.
So, Haley, you're gonna roll death because you have skinny fingers. Is that what you said?
Yes.
Like, so thin.
Look at
They're like
how
so thin,
skinny.
and they're actually weirdly strong because of how much I text. I just use them a lot. No other reason. Just texting.
Why did you say it like that?
Say it like how? I'm just being honest. That's
There's no
totally
other
the
reason.
only way. There's no other reason.
I like look over at Ashley and I'm like, okay, but I just have been, there's this new Twitter account that's interacting with my Twitter account, and seems like it might be you, and
I don't know why you would think I would be running a monster fucker Twitter account. Okay.
just saying, strong fingers, it's kind of a trope in our community.
I also you never specified the Twitter account.
Yeah.
Yeah, you brought that up.
Yeah, I
Tori.
brought that up.
What did your strong
like,
fingers get?
Oh my
Didn't even
god.
roll yet.
Oh I thought I heard dice.
My strong fingers got a 6. My muscular, slender fingers.
Oh my god.
A 6. I scrolled away from my reference page and then just like got so lost in what was
No other
going
reason.
This is a 6 one where you succeed, but you
Other
at a
reason.
cost.
Yes, 6 to 8 succeed with a cost. So,
Nice.
Salem, you are going to get another +1. You're up to
Nice.
+2. But we got to think of some kind of cost for Ashley.
I so
Could snap a
Ashley
finger.
is like getting in there and like grabs it, and then you just hear "ow," and you look over, and she's just holding onto her thumb, and she's like, "I think I sprained my thumb. I haven't done this since I was like 16, and Jessica broke up with Daryl."
Why did that make you sprain your thumb?
Because I was texting so much. Obviously.
Yeah.
Don't
And that
you
was-
remember that? It was a really big deal in our high school.
I feel like I remember that, and that was, you had the quick messenger phone probably then, so the thumbs were doing a lot more work.
I had a sidekick, and it was so cool. Mila note, they never sold sidekicks in Canada, and I have been devastated by this ever since I wanted one.
Oh
so bad.
man,
You're just
you missed
vicariously living
out.
through
I
Ashley.
know.
And a
I had the
very
closest
important way
Canadian
to.
ones.
Yeah, it's what an important wish fulfillment this game has offered you for a very specific thing.
Monster fucking no, that's not what I'm in here for. Having a sidekick.
I think when you are talking about your thumb, Salem just says something like, well, maybe, I mean, you could give your thumbs a rest and get some kind of, like, reference or, like, coupon code from, like, Adam and Eve or something, you know?
Like, is that supposed to be a Bible camp?
I'll message you later. I'm sorry, I'll message this random Twitter account that's retweeting all of my work in progress of Rocky. I'll message that account later to tell them about
That
Adam
seems
and
super
Eve.
weird, but yeah, you should definitely do that.
Mila, the spraining your thumb, it feels like it could be a penalty to deft because that's the trait you used. However, I do want to pitch, just because I think it's funny, taking a penalty to your next charming roll.
That's what I was
because
gonna suggest.
You
Yeah.
are
Yes.
less capable of texting for a little bit.
Yeah.
That's very
Perfect.
good.
Yeah.
Incidentally, I should have said this before, but like it's usually a good idea to just make little notes for yourself if you've got a penalty to remember for later. Just because it's super easy to forget with everything else that's going on. That's excellent though. So Salem, you're up to a +2 on your scene roll. And then Maureen, I think, is the last one.
Yeah, so I think that the way that Maureen assists is since we're going into this building in an attempt to learn more about Rocky, like what he's into, I would try to use my knowledge on like seeing the signs of where he would be, like, because there's so many different like levels to the building and areas, so like trying to pinpoint where his like main living area is, possibly like checking for different types of mosses and lichens and seeing what like checks out between what we know so far.
Okay, so you're doing that as a curious roll?
Yes, which I have a minus 1, 2 right now. Would be my best, but
I feel dizzy.
oh, I got a 9.
A 9. That's a success with nothing attached to it. That's a clean win.
Nice. So I get +3 to this roll?
+3 to a roll that, if I remember right, you also have all 3 dice for.
So I lead us up to like the 3rd floor of this rickety abandoned building, just being like, this seems like this would be the best place. I'm seeing signs of disturbance over here, so maybe check around this area.
I got an 11 to the roll. So
11.
pretty good.
Pretty good.
Okay,
Very
so
cool.
for sure I get to reveal one of the likes or dislikes, correct?
You so that was curious, right?
Yes.
Because it's the Hermit, which has a little special bonus. You get to uncover 2 of those.
Okay, cool. That's what I thought, but I wanted to ask before I turned it over.
And we have to figure out a bonus.
Oh, nice. Okay, so
So
I
this
just
is a big round.
I just click them to turn them over, correct?
Yep.
Okay. That
Okay.
I don't know tarot cards, so I have no idea what any of.
That's a 5 of Pentacles, which means that my current card in my hand is useless to me. And then that is an 8 of Wands.
Which is good. Higher.
That's pretty good.
Okay, so let me.
These all feel pretty low.
Okay, so the creature really likes, or at least like decently likes, creative gifts such as poems, art, or music.
That's perfect.
That's very good.
And depending on where you put selfies,
That's true.
could be art.
I mean,
But doesn't really like physical gifts such as food, keepsakes, or money.
I
Mostly
can
like...
see why Rocky wouldn't care about money.
Food?
Okay, so then the other thing I was gonna say, maybe, because I intentionally didn't describe this because I wanted to see how the roll went, but maybe we could all think of, like, especially because Rocky likes art and like creative stuff, maybe we find some things here that are like, oh, this is like artistic, or like something, I don't know. Like, I just think it would be fun to like figure out like a specific thing that's here that we're like, oh, this is like something that Rocky likes.
We find an old like cassette or CD player that someone had thrown into the canal.
Yeah.
that's very good. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, you might expect that like we do find some more bits of like shed and maybe remains of like some food and stuff like that, but I guess that like anything that's not necessary in that same way would feel kind of notable. A discarded CD player is a very good one.
Maybe there's,
Gosh, what is another?
like some rocks that are kind of like stuck to the wall with like tentacle goop that are in like a
Tentacle
mosaic
goop.
kind of thing. Yeah.
Oh, like he's making his own art?
Yeah, like Rocky's making his own art.
Cool.
I feel
yeah.
like the first thing that popped into my head was like a Sid from Toy Story-esque toy that someone had like thrown into the canal. So just like a really like weird Barbie doll, or like just something like out there art, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Alarmingly, I had a very similar thought.
Yes.
And then maybe this is maybe kind of an odd thought, but maybe like I'm imagining this place is pretty dusty and dirty from just being empty for a long time, and I was thinking of like almost a picture being drawn in the dust with one of the tentacles. And I was picturing like 4 human figures next to kind of like a boat.
Ooh. Yeah.
Like he spotted us. Yeah,
That's really
and
good.
like, you know, it's not like specific portraits of us, right?
Mhm.
And we're just like looking at it like, I mean, we're 4 people in a boat, and we've.
I have to get to my computer immediately.
Salem, maybe he is into artwork as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great sign for you.
Yeah. I'm
You're
like
so
taking...
compatible.
Yeah, I'm like looking at this very intensely to see if there's any like detail work or anything to be like, oh, like one of them is me, and it's like a very crude drawing, so there's not, but I'm just like, yeah, I think I need to write about this.
And as you're looking for these details, there's a flash and you get interrupted for a moment. You look over and Hudson has like the biggest, oldest Polaroid camera you have ever seen.
Where were you keeping that?
In my bag. Why? Where do you keep your camera?
Mostly on my phone.
Yeah, it's kind of an app. I would say I keep it in
like
an
every
app.
phone comes with it now.
What do you mean?
There's just a phone.
Show us your phone.
I don't have a phone.
Ah.
Those things are how they control you.
Who is Zach?
Oh my god, are we getting into this now? Okay.
I control my phone. My phone does what I tell it to do.
Yeah, I'm sure it loves that you think so.
I know so. Like, literally, watch. And then, hey, Bixby? Or no, I guess, just kidding. She would have an Apple. She'd be like, hey, Siri, open camera. And I'm so sorry if anyone's phone activated. It's like,
Alexa, play Huey Lewis in the News.
Yeah.
While this is happening, Maureen's like, okay, well, look at this. I wonder what he listens to. It looks like there's a CD in there.
It's Huey Lewis.
Huey Lewis in the news.
Huey Lewis in the News, for sure.
I mean, sure, it could be that. I have
It's just a
different thoughts.
single of the power of love.
Oh my god.
Maureen is just like, I hear what you're saying, but no.
What were you going to say the CD was, Melanie?
I was gonna say I hit play and then we hear blasting out of the speakers a kind of garbled because it was in the water.
Yeah.
So the sound quality is not like great. But we hear "Larger Than Life" by the Backstreet Boys.
Yes.
Just that scream that starts at the beginning.
Oh,
That would be
larger.
eerie coming through broken, shorted out speakers.
Yeah, there's no reason why I picked that. That's just the first song
Rocky.
that I thought, and I was like, that's the only thing it can be.
Rocky's trying to tell us that he's growing and he's getting larger than life. And I have the name for my next fic now, so this is perfect.
It seems like a really long title. Rocky's trying to tell us
It's
that
just
he's...
gonna be called Larger Than Life.
Oh, that would be very interesting if someone listened or read your fics. That would be good to know, I guess. If someone did. If.
Can I see your phone?
It sounds
for a
like
second?
a bunch of people do.
Yeah. First of all,
I've read them.
yeah.
They're quite good. Yeah.
Thank you.
Have you, Ashley?
I-
have you not?
What? No.
It seems like something that you might be interested in. I mean,
No,
I read them. Hudson and I, we were hanging out the other day and reading through them together.
She printed one out for me. It was really helpful.
What did you think, Hudson? Did you like it?
Yeah, it's a little wordy, but it's...
It seems like nothing I've ever seen before, and I find it fascinating.
I really could not tell you if I've read them or not. I mean,
So you read.
we really travel
so
in
much.
different circles. I do. I read like all the time. Some people make the longest Instagram captions, and it's so much, you know? I'm reading all day, every day, and it's...
So you're reading so
Fucking
much
words.
tentacle porn that you can't
No,
remember whether you've
Instagram
read mine or
captions.
not.
Did you not hear her? She said she couldn't say whether she did or did not read it. So
I know, but I
which
just
makes
feel
no
like
sense.
you would remember. I just feel like my writing you would probably remember if you'd read it or you haven't read it.
Then I probably haven't if I don't remember.
All right,
Yeah.
that's fair.
And then Ashley's just like taking photos of the artwork. And if you were to like look over her shoulder, you'd see that she was putting them into like a secret file on her phone.
I need to know what the secret file is labeled as.
Yeah.
I need to know now.
Oh, it would be it would probably like I don't think she would think to actually like hide it. It would probably just be it would be like heart. It would just be a heart emoji.
It's very good.
Yeah, that tracks.
Very good.
Yeah.
Nice. I have to nominate who to do the next scene.
Yeah.
This is so hard to choose. I think I'll do Melanie because I feel like mine and Ashley's we probably have similar vibes for what we would want to do in a scene. So
Yeah.
Maureen's more of
Oh,
a
yeah.
dark horse at this point. So yeah.
Oh gosh. Okay. So I choose an investigation.
Oh wait,
Right.
don't I get something else because I got so good?
Oh, we didn't
Oh,
even
yeah,
talk about the
another thing.
bonus.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
I
yeah,
can just
yeah.
take a card from the clue deck probably.
Sure.
Does that since we don't really have any good gifts right now?
And we use the clue deck to gift, right? That's what we use it for.
Yeah, the cards in your hand represent potential gifts for the last phase of the game.
I think that
Okay.
makes sense. I don't know what that is.
Two of Pentacles.
Okay, so that's
Pretty
good.
good.
Here's the thing. Because the Pentacles card over here is a 5, you feel pretty confident that is something that they'll like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Food.
Maybe some
gift,
cool rocks.
or money.
Or another CD. I'll think of what the CD is. I think I have a CD that I think that the creature would like.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
Whenever you get a gift in your hand, it's just kind of like a good thing to keep in the back of your head.
Mhm.
And then like, you know, you'll know what that gift represents when you're giving it to them in the last phase.
Yeah. But yeah, Maureen. That's your
Oh,
scene, I think.
right.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So I choose from the investigation deck.
Sick. Okay. We're getting some
Oh god.
very positive card pulls here. That one you want right side up.
Right side up?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, you alternate them.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, we can put them however we want. That's just, you
It's
know.
just how the game is written, you know. It's written so that
Sure.
they go in that order.
It's just how my partner wrote it, and
Yeah, good news. Your partner is the person who cares least about how the game was originally written. So, strength, bravery, endurance, willpower. A major obstacle falls in your path. It is unavoidable, but nothing you can't handle. What is this obstacle, and how will you endure or overcome this challenge? Mechanically, this one also just has a straight up and down bonus. You're gonna start with a +1 to whatever roll you choose for this scene. Even before the three of us help you out.
Okay, so an obstacle. You encounter an obstacle. How do we overcome it? My initial thought is because it is an abandoned building, maybe it gets pulled down and the trail of like actually finding him goes cold for us.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, poor Rocky.
Yeah, that mostly sucks for him.
Yeah, so like that's why I'm like maybe not.
No, but it's
That's
so
sad.
it's so cinematic though.
That's good though,
Because
yeah.
we are at the halfway point, and like in movies, that's when it's like there's a big setback or the clock runs
Oh,
out.
okay.
So I think that's good.
Okay, so I think we found this place, we found some things out about him, and we spent some time away, like trying to prepare ourselves to like come back and like hopefully one of the nights like come back and actually like we think we're gonna meet him, you know. So we come back, you maybe Salem has some CDs and we're bringing some things that we think that would be nice for him to, you know, spruce up the place. And we come back to what is now not cleared away rubble. I think maybe we see the CD player and the fucked up doll thing. Oh gosh. How do we overcome this though? I wonder if there's a way, because he drew like the image of us, so like he can communicate that way, we know. Maybe there's a way that we could like scope out a new place to and leave like a message about that, you know. Either like, 'cause I'm sure that he's noticed that that is broken down. So if we leave something like written out in front of where the rubble is, like pointing to where he could go that is safe, and maybe leaving like our little offerings of for him there. I don't know. Is that anything?
Yeah, I think that's good. Maybe, oh, I was gonna say something, but maybe that would be something that would be better to wait until we know what the outcome is.
Something to keep in mind is that Maureen's last roll was for curious. So whatever you're doing to either like find a new place that might be safe and comfortable for him, or
Right.
to leave that message or whatever, that's got to be either attached to charming or deft.
Right. So that makes me think that I mean, my first thought is probably not the thing I should go with, which is like going into maybe one of the small bars that are like, sometimes there's like nice little gift shoppy places along the canal. And I'm sure that there would be like a bar nearby, and like picturing Maureen going in and being like, so has anyone seen any abandoned buildings lately that are unoccupied? And using charming for that. But that is probably a dumb idea.
Oh, it's so good though.
Another thing that I do want you to keep in mind is the effect that both of the rolls have. So a charming roll being your scene roll. Excuse me. What you do with that is you either add an extra card to the meeting spread, or you take one off to slow things down a little bit. And we did get that as a negative before. However, we have also now got 3 of the likes and dislikes uncovered, and like we know we've got at least one gift that he'll like, so we are in a much better position than we were when we got that as a negative.
Yeah.
So it could be a good thing to add to it, you're saying?
Yeah, if that's the one you decide you want to go with.
What do I get if I use deft instead?
If you use deft, then you get to grab a clue card out of the deck.
I do want to do that.
Yeah, you can do a deft roll then. And remember,
Okay.
you're starting out with at least a +1, so you're in a good spot.
I would like to try to find an area of high ground so I can like see pretty far along the canal.
Yeah, love that.
So any kind of like cell phone tower or something like
You just climb it.
heights mean nothing to me.
Nothing?
It's like being underwater but opposite.
I don't know how to start unpacking that.
I lean over to Hudson and say, she did hit her head pretty hard.
That's specifically why I'm worried about her climbing a tall thing, yeah.
Heights mean nothing to me as a person with a head injury.
Okay, so your goal is to scope out a place. How to help with that?
Yeah, that's not an easy one to help with.
Yeah, because I just did a deft roll, so I can't do that to help you out. I think it would be funny for Hudson to do something with a charming roll, but I'm trying to think of what that would even be.
Too.
You could try to get me like safety equipment from like a fellow handy person.
No, I have that.
Okay.
Gosh, so the stretch of the canal that I'm most familiar with personally, there is a place that's got a whole bunch of like big power lines and stuff, and I do want to be helpful, but also the idea of Hudson being the one to try and convince someone like working in that area that you're there for like an inspection or something is so funny to me.
Yeah.
That maybe I want to do that.
I think that's great. Get me access to like a place where I can get high up.
Yeah. I'm gonna give it a go. I don't know how this is gonna go, but maybe I'll roll incredibly. Specifically a 6 would be ideal. 5.
Oh no.
So close too.
Yeah, so and you know, again, this doesn't like hurt your roll, and I don't even suffer any consequences from this. But so you might just have to like duck around someone to get climbing onto a high thing, while I'm just like talking to a worker being like, yeah, so I'm with the state, obviously, I'm sure you can tell. You gotta, when's the last time this got serviced? And it's not convincing or helpful at all. The person's
just like I think 3 days ago somebody came here.
Oh yeah, that previous guy, he messed it all up though. So,
you know, you state employees really need to get your shit together. It's like you don't communicate.
That's what I'm always telling everybody. Yeah, totally. So we're just gonna do another one if that's cool with you.
Do you have any of the paperwork?
I've got a.
The last guy who was here had some paperwork.
Yeah, that makes sense. Tell you what, I do have, and it's definitely relevant to this and also my employment with the state.
Mm-hmm.
I have a boating license, and so you know what, I'm thinking about it now, and that's probably why a different guy came to check out the lines and stuff, is because he was probably from like the land-based branch.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, so we don't really deal with the boating stuff, really, you know.
You're right next to the water. You gotta is the thing.
Well, yeah, but that's out of my jurisdiction. I'm not in the water, as you can see.
Well, that's why I'm telling you it's my jurisdiction.
Okay,
so.
go in the water then.
Yeah, but I'm coming out of the water to... Do you see where I'm coming from?
Gotta have your paperwork if you want to come out of the water.
This is never gonna end. This goes on until all the rest of us are done. And we finally
Yeah,
come to
like
collect you.
I only helped in that. Like this guy was too distracted to try and like actively stop you.
Yeah.
Not helpful, but not hurtful at least.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh, I could watch like a whole hour of that.
Just a no. Just me saying no.
Yeah.
You got a 5. Not much I can do on that.
It's almost a 6, though. You have to admit.
Almost. Not quite.
It's still talking to you.
That's how Hudson's helping.
How is Ashley helping?
Yeah.
Is there like a construction worker like guard there? Like, is there anyone like patrolling the area to make sure no one like hurts themselves? Or yeah,
I think maybe that's who was talking to Hudson.
Oh, I assume they're in a bar.
Just unrelated to the scene. Just chatting this person up.
I was thinking we were there. We were at wherever this thing
Yeah, that
is.
would make sense, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it? A bar was referenced, and then all that I saw was them in a bar. So...
Hudson just goes into a bar and is like, is there anyone here I can talk to about...
Does anybody work out there?
Cell tower?
It was Maureen's first idea.
Yeah.
When you were like, no, and then I just took in a bar.
You could be in a bar.
And fully envisioned this. Okay, I think I think I'm going to scope out and look around and just be like, oh, I can totally get into that like industrial like photo thing, you know, of like broken down buildings. So she's gonna walk around and take some photos and just kind of look around. And I feel like if this like rolls well, would like maybe like see if there's any like hints of where like Rocky had gone. Like maybe there's like a little trail of like dried up tentacle goo.
We've established that there's goo.
We have established there is tentacle
You know what?
goo.
I'm adding that to the
Oh yeah, there's goo.
Yeah. Okay. So she's gonna work on that, and she's going to roll curious to do that. Five.
So close again.
At least the card gave you a little bit, because we are not.
Yeah.
Salem hasn't pitched in yet, have they?
No, and I think I do know what I'm going to do, which is so what exactly is Maureen climbing? Is it like a cell tower? You're just climbing up the side of one?
I just want to find like the highest thing that I can get a good lay of the land in order to like find a good, like if you guys could assist with finding a place, like
I had something to assist with you being able to climb.
Yeah. Or just find a place where we all can like look out and find a good, because the goal of this is to find a new main layer for Rocky.
Right.
Yeah, the way that your roles are helping out the scene leader don't have to like 100% be connected to like, you know, the role that they are making. Does that make sense?
Yeah. My idea was that I would serenade Maureen while they were climbing to like give some encouragement. But serenading Maureen as they're just like walking around, like looking for a tall place. I don't know if that's as dramatic.
If you sing to me as I mean, that's pretty good.
It's like, I think whatever it is we're doing, either we're walking together or whatever's happening.
Sorry, remind me. What type of role is Maureen making at the end of the scene?
Deft.
It is a deft one, yeah. So I don't know, encouragement.
Jack jams. Put me up.
Like climbing is part of it. So if you want to be encouraging of that portion, like that, we don't need part of, we don't need one of our roles to be finding a place,
Yeah. So whatever the situation is, because that's more up to Melanie than it is to me. Maureen is doing her thing, and maybe there's like something going on where it's like you're struggling or you seem like down or something's happening where I'm like, I need to encourage. And so you just hear like a laugh that's like a very weird forced laugh, and then I go, "Oh, you people, can't you see how your love's affecting our reality? Every time you're down, you can make it right, and that makes you larger than life." And I'm just singing
Hell yeah.
Larger Than Life to Maureen.
Bow, bow, bow.
Somewhere nearby, Hudson, in the middle of a conversation with this utility worker, is like, that's the name of this. Right.
I just got a 10.
A 10!
2-5,
Hell
bitches.
Yeah.
I mean, 2-5, so 5 is still dominating the conversation here. Yeah, that's a success. That's another +1. You don't get a bonus for a 10 on the dot, but Maureen's going into that deft roll with a +2.
+2. Okay. Oh gosh.
Yeah, you're gonna get
2 5s, baby.
Hey.
Plus,
that's a 12.
That's a 12.
Nice.
That makes you larger. That makes you larger than life. And you see the building.
Oh my god. Both Maureen and myself are so pumped.
Hell
yeah.
All right.
She slides down all coolly.
I definitely am going to try to catch you a little bit because that's wildly dangerous.
No, you know when people go down ladders and they kind of like do the sliding down it? Yeah.
Oh, I know what you're saying. You're doing it from a cell tower.
Yeah, I don't go up that high. I don't go up to the very top.
The whole scene was about you finding a very high place to climb up.
I go up as high as I need to. As high as I need me to, not to the very top.
We're just there, R.I.P. Maureen.
We said we were okay with our characters dying. You know what?
We did.
We did.
Yeah, I slide down, kind of bumping into Salem. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Did you see
But
it?
every time I play with you guys, my face just hurts from laughing.
All right.
I think I found the perfect place.
I come back over and I'm just like, that guy was no help. How'd you do?
We found it.
Oh. I didn't even do it. That's fine.
You did perfect.
Maureen also very strong fingers, it turns out. Good grip strength.
Every finger's a fish hook, as they say.
They do now.
It occurs to me I've only ever heard that said in Assassin's Creed 4 one time many years ago.
You didn't just come up with that?
No.
Someone else is okay.
I
guess people do say it.
People in Assassin's
At
Creed.
least that one guy said it, yeah.
Not one guy, but someone recorded him and was like, yes, this is normal.
Mm-hmm. Great. Maureen has spotted a place to try and direct Rocky to. And as we wrap up the scene, we can kind of describe what, how we're leaving that signal for Rocky.
Yeah.
But also, just for the game's sake, Mel, you're going to get a card out of the clue deck to put in your hand. Queen of Wands, which unfortunately you do know that he won't like. But you rolled a 12, so you get a bonus. You could, since you're the scene leader, that could be like a floating bonus of +1 that just like whoever needs it can use next scene. Or you could get another thing out of the clue deck, just get an extra. Since you got a thing that you know he doesn't like, I think that's pretty reasonable.
You're muted,
Oh.
I think.
I'm muted?
I couldn't hear you for a second.
Couldn't hear you for a moment there.
Oh, weird. I almost left the Zoom call for a second, so I thought I did something bad. Because I only have the one screen, so I'm like clicking back and forth between stuff. Yeah, I think clue deck.
Go for it.
Yeah. Oop.
Oh, that's good, right?
6?
Yeah. 6 of Wands, which indeed you know that Rocky will like.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
Maybe as we were looking for, let's see, I gotta remind myself what wands are real quick. Creative gifts. So maybe as we're looking for things that we can like move around or arrange to like leave some kind of sign for like, if Rocky comes back here, he'll see what we leave for him, and we're kind of directing him to this other place that might be safe for him. And like as we're looking through stuff, maybe that just represents Maureen like getting ideas for things that like, Rocky just lost everything, so he might like this stuff to kind of replace some of that.
Ashley is gonna be like, Hudson, can I like see your camera, the non-phone?
Yeah. This is the front part.
Oh, okay. And how do I take the photo?
It's the only button.
Oh, yeah. I guess that makes sense. So she's gonna like jog away, but she's in just like absurd shoes. And it's a little bit of like a toddling kind of like, you know when wasps like run in like the big shoes, like as in the acronym and not the bug.
When what? Hold on, what?
Wasps.
Yeah.
What big shoes? I don't know.
Like tall shoes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm picturing clown shoes, so that's different.
No, other way. Not this
It's not
way.
that different.
Those waspy moms just
Honestly.
running around with like some real.
Now I'm just envisioning my own mother with the wasp running around in clown shoes.
That feels like a rude way to imagine your mother.
Yeah, the patron of Piss Boy.
Yeah.
We can't talk about
This boy's mom.
Yes. Saint troll mom, patron saint of Piss Boy. Anyway, so Ashley's gonna run over and be gone for a moment, and then come back and be like waving this as she like toddles over, and she's like, I took this, and holds out the photo, and it's the photo of the building. And so she's like, okay, I took this photo, so like I think maybe what we should do is we should like maybe leave this here and then take his stuff so that like the construction workers don't like damage it if he's not able to like move it all, and we can put it in the building so that he knows that he's like safe there and he knows what building it is because I took the photo.
I think
what did you do with my camera though? You didn't come back with that.
Oh yeah, that heavy thing. I left it. Oh, I need to go grab it. And so she goes back and grabs it. Originally, she was gonna have it with her, but I just like this better. Oh, right.
Yeah, I know, but you didn't mention it specifically, and I saw an opportunity for you to say you threw it away or something.
So when
I needed to take a break, it was just like really heavy and like kind of like that weird like strap is really not optimized.
That's for
my
carrying
neck.
it.
Plus,
Yeah, but it's not optimized for my neck, and it was kind of giving me like a headache.
yeah, and Hudson, her thumb is sprained, so she can only carry
Yeah,
either the photo or the
Hudson.
camera if she doesn't have it around her neck. You're being kind of
Yeah.
ableist right now, Hudson.
You really are. Instagram has taught me that that's bad.
I've never been on Instagram, so I guess I gotta take your word for it.
Yeah, I'm an Instagram expert. I don't know if I've told you before, but I do have
It's come up.
15,000 followers, so I'm kind of a big deal. Just a bit.
That seems like a lot, yeah.
15,000 individual people following me. They're not bots. People keep saying they're bots, and they aren't. They're people. So 15,000 individual people.
anyways, when we finally get to this other building and we're leaving the stuff, can we I want Maureen to like kind of try to push us all together and take a picture of us all there as like a little like housewarming thing.
Yeah.
Oh,
I do
Oh, that's
love
really
it.
good. I'm definitely blinking and like turned away a little bit.
and they're like,
Yeah.
like full duck face, like.
Yeah.
And Maureen looks like a model somehow. No.
A quarter falls from the ceiling and bounces off her
Your head, though.
top of your head.
Huh?
Oh my gosh.
All
Oh,
right.
boy.
That seems like the end of that seems like the end of that scene.
Please.
And it also seems like a good spot for us to take our break before we do Mila's scene and then the meat creep, presumably at some point after that. So chat, we are going to take a 15-minute break and then we'll be back with the last part of okcryptid. Which
Thanks for hanging out, guys.
which I'm
Yeah,
sure-
this is so much fun. I'm also just.
I haven't been able to talk and chat like we all are normally in the chat.
Yeah.
But we're seeing this happening as we're playing.
Yeah. Yeah, all the mods
No mods
are
in chat.
in the
No mods in chat.
stream right now.
Mods are asleep. Host.
Mods
Post
are
tentacles.
mods are seducing a monster.
I don't even know what people would post for me to be like, oh, like, because you know, in Reddit subreddits, it's like post this thing that the Reddit doesn't like allow.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, I don't really know. Don't try it though.
Don't post anything. Mods playing game Kiss Cryptid. Yes, perfect.
I keep looking over at the chat though and just trying not to burst out laughing. There's been some excellent commentary.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it is going to be anarchy in the second half. Okay, so we're going to take our break. I'm going to go over to my break screen. While we're on the break screen, you'll be able to see more info about our lovely players. And then we'll be back in about 15 minutes. Say goodbye to chat, everyone. Bye.
Goodbye, chat.
Felicitations, chat. We're back with the second half of what we're calling Eerie Canal, our stream of okcryptid. And the first half, a lot of stuff happened. But before we get into all of that, we'll really quickly reintroduce ourselves, just in case anyone missed the first, 20 or so minutes of the stream where we talked about who we are. And I'll start us off. My name's Taylor. I use she, her pronouns. If you're here, you're watching my stream. And I play a lot of one-shots in a bunch of different systems with different people all the time. And some of the ones I have coming up on the 19th of this month, which is a Saturday, I'm going to be playing a game called Petal Paladins, which is really fun. I played a previous one called Succulent Sorcerers that's the same kind of game series. So I'm excited for that. On the 11th, I'm going to be doing a subathon for my birthday. And we're going to be playing some Mario Party, and I might do like a ukulele sing-along kind of thing. I haven't quite decided. Probably Mario Kart, stuff like that. It'll be fun. Goofy time. And then on the 13th, we're going to be doing our series finale of the limited series I've been doing of Good Society, the series which we've called Arse and Farce, which actually was Melanie's idea for a title. And Tag and I are both in that one, along with some other people who are in chat right now, actually, Mace and Xavery. And that's going to be our grand finale, and we are going to be ending, like any good farce, with a wedding. Xavery's character is supposed to be getting married, and we'll see how that goes. And, there's not any other huge event going on the 13th, so, which I just found out is the Super Bowl. So I'm sure we'll have great viewership. Actually, I mean,
oh boy,
the Venn diagram of people watching the Super Bowl and watching tabletop
I was
streams,
gonna say,
yeah, it's like this. It's gonna be fine.
That said, I will not be able to be in this room on that day. It's gonna be too loud.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, so Good Society is super fun. So that's the other thing happening. And then I've got some other stuff planned for March. But those are, I think, all my February ones. But let me throw it over to some of my players so they can talk about where else you can find them. And this time we'll start with Mila. Where else can people find you? What else you got going on?
Yes. So I do have my own Twitch stream over at Troll Mila. Also, I'm Mila, and I'm non-binary, and my pronouns are they, them. And I'm over at my Twitch. I'm also on Twitter as troll_Mila. As well, I just recently put out into the universe my own Discord, which you can find on my Twitch at the very bottom. It is, or under my socials, underneath my main thing. It'll give you all the links to anything that you would want and anywhere you can find me. And yeah, and I've been playing a lot of Kingdom Hearts, a whole variety of Kingdom Hearts. But we're actually doing the third one, and we're getting there. So I'm getting nervous. I don't know what to do after.
Yeah,
but we'll figure that one out.
Final Fantasy, I guess.
That's the current plan.
Melanie, where else can people find you, or do you have anything that you want to plug? Tell people about.
Mila, I just realized when you said big shoes before, I was picturing Sora shoes. That's exactly the kind of shoe I was picturing.
Yeah.
Hi.
Yes.
I'm Melanie.
Clown shoes.
Yeah, clown shoes. I'm Melanie. My pronouns are she, her. I am playing this game right now that my beautiful, wonderful partner created. And they actually just dropped it today, like the vamped up version of it. So if you liked what you're seeing on this stream, or even if you just are mildly entertained by it, maybe pick it up because it's pretty cool and the artwork is really pretty.
Yeah. Tag, do you want to... I assume that was one of the things you were going to mention. Was about
Yeah,
the
Melanie
game.
took mine again.
I don't have much going on for myself, so I gotta hype those around me.
What else do you have going on, Tag? Where can people find you?
Yeah, my name is Tag. I also use they, them pronouns. Follow me on Twitter. It's fine there, I guess. If you have to be on Twitter. I'm probably not the worst person you could follow, and I am at 249 followers. So like,
Ooh.
I didn't promise any goodies this time. If I at 200 I did a stupid thing, but anyway, the main thing is check out this game. I worked really hard on it, and if you are someone who bought a previous version of the game, you should have. Excuse me. You should have received a devlog update earlier today with some instructions on getting your copy of the new version. And if you're not already following me on Twitch, I also stream sometimes, and I'd love it if you would follow me, because I'm like this close to affiliate status and getting weird little emotes that I can use, and I want it so bad, you see.
The emotes are great.
Emotes are so good.
On Thursdays, I should say, I've been streaming with my good friend Tim. We've been playing Fire Emblem 7 and plan to do more Fire Emblem games. Tim is in the chat right now. Hi, bud. And Tim also has made like all of the very silly gifs from weird games I've played that will ultimately be my emotes. So those are my things. I'm uncomfortable with how much I just talked about myself.
Can I add to Tags and also say that they have other games as well that are also really awesome?
Yes, they're dumber. They're all of my games are pretty stupid, and I say that lovingly, but like I think maybe okcryptid, I know this seems unbelievable, is maybe my least dumb game.
Not the way we're playing it.
Not the way we're playing it. You also have Wizard Pals, and there's also a solo journaling one where you're like a house sprite that I have been wanting to get, but I'm like, what price do I give them? That's a good one.
That one's free, Mila.
I want to pay you for it.
No, and I have
tag for what they do.
Hey, look, I agree and I appreciate that. Truly, I do. Please give me money. I would love to have more than none. However, I will say that House Spirit is a tiny game. It is also literally my business card game. So if I'm ever allowed to be around a group of people again, I'm just going to be handing them out. Please just download that game.
Fine. But everyone should go and look at their games because they're all great. So I just wanted to also continue hyping up Tag to make it more
I just told you I was very uncomfortable. Yes, thank you.
Yeah. Anytime.
They heard you, love. They heard you.
If any of those things sound interesting to you, and you're in chat right now, if you scroll up a little bit, I have links to all of Take's things, all of Melanie's things, all of Mila's things, and also a direct link to okcryptid, which you should get. Also, if any of those other games do sound cool to you, we played Wizard Pals on this stream, and the VOD for that is on my YouTube, which is Roll for Felicity.
It's so good.
Which is very fun, and I played in that one, and it's a very fun game, and it's a very fun one shot.
If you get that game, the adventure that we played through is available as a pre-written adventure that you can run on the itch page.
Yeah.
So
true. Cool. What was I gonna do next? I guess maybe recap what's happened so far very briefly. So what we did in the first half was, the four of us are investigating this cryptid who is known as the Erie Canal Rock Squid, aka Rocky, who we know turns to stone during the day, has tentacles, has moss on him, is gooey, is getting bigger, and had their house destroyed, and the first half was kind of finding out some of those things, and then the very last thing we did was find a new location for Rocky to move to, and we're getting ever closer to meeting Rocky. We only have 2 more cards on the meeting spread, to add, which could happen, honestly, at any minute. And I think that leads us to Mila. You are the only one of the four of us who hasn't been the scene leader yet. So this is your time to shine.
Yes. Okay, so I'm going to grab a card from the investigation deck. Flip you over.
Oh, wow.
This just doesn't look good. I don't
Oh,
know.
wow. Okay. Interesting. I've never gotten this card in this game before. This is going to be really interesting. So I want to be clear that death in a tarot deck is not necessarily a bad thing. People get spooked out by it, but it means a lot of...
More importantly.
Yeah. Whatever. Tarot.
Yeah. So, death, mourning, loss, and stillness. The creature destroys someone or something meaningful to you. Who or what is it? Does it change how you see them? Do you accept this act of destruction as a part of who they are? There's an additional thing here, but it's only relevant if we had previously pulled a different card.
Just curious, what is the additional thing?
If we had at some point previously gotten the chariot, if that represented a character who we had been close with, like an NPC that we had like become friendly with, it could have been them.
Mila, while you're thinking about that, there's one other thing I meant to do when we came back from break, which is to remind everyone, we do have some tip incentives in the game tonight, which people have done, and it's been great.
Second Piss Boy stream. If we get to $30, 2 Piss Boy streams.
Double the piss.
A
Double
stream
the
of piss. If you tip $1 or 100 bits, you can give one of us a +1 to a future roll. $3 or 300 bits, you can give all of us a +1 to a future roll. And for $5 or 500 bits, you can give us a +1 to either the Kiss Me or Kill Me skill. Right now we're at +1 Kiss Me. And at the end of the game, if our Kiss Me score is good, then we have a successful rendezvous, I guess, with Rocky. And if the Kill Me score is high at the end, then that's, self-explanatory. Not good for us.
Not good.
So just to remind people about that, because I always forget to when we come back from break. And as Mila mentioned, we had said if we got $15 in tips during the stream, that we would do another stream of this game without Tag. To be clear, because they didn't want to be in it.
Which is fair. That is probably the right opinion to have about
which is
a stream about romancing a cryptid named Piss Boy.
Yeah, which is that the cryptid will be Piss Boy, and what exactly that means, I guess we'll determine later. But
yeah,
we are definitely going to have a Piss Boy stream thanks to Mace and Troll Mom. But yeah, sorry Mila to interrupt your scene, but I remembered I had checked.
No, absolutely. I'm not gonna do it. But the first thing I thought of was we've established, much to Ashley's chagrin, that she actually follows what Salem makes and stuff. So I'm just like, that would be like someone that she cares about. She's actually likes, actually legitimately likes Salem.
Just kill Taylor's character.
But I'm not gonna do that.
We said we would be fine with it.
We're fine with it, but I don't want to.
Yeah.
I feel like there's still more that Salem has to give.
Definitely more.
Probably should have specified it shouldn't be one of the other players.
No, don't. If you specify, my goal
out
of
the
making
competition.
Tag add into the game because of me would work. So this is fine. Do add that. That has been my goal. I think what. Well, 15k followers.
Yeah,
that's kind of what I was thinking, though. I was thinking, like, Oh, I don't know how it would though.
Yeah.
Destroying your phone.
Yeah, and then Ashley's not a smart woman. I think everything would be like all of like her like passwords and stuff would have been saved, so she doesn't know what they are. And I feel like she would have to make new emails like a lot because she would get locked out of her emails, and so she can't get like back into it.
I don't
So
really
her
like that you
Instagram account
connected that
is
to
just
being
gone.
not a smart person. Not for any reason, not because that happens to me.
It also sometimes happens, but like I kind of like there's ways of fixing it. You can do like forgot password, and like sometimes we do move on from like email accounts, but like
Yeah.
I mean that this is happening like
Yeah.
whenever she has to log into something, she has to make like a new thing other than Instagram because it's saved. So I feel like Rocky just like breaks her phone, and she's just it's gone. Like she can't get back to it.
I like that.
But that's more of like a her issue than like it's actually impossible. It's just impossible for her.
I do like that.
That means that you had a very close encounter. Like we either you were
Yeah.
alone or we were all together and we were about to like see him and he whips a tentacle at you and just grabs the phone out of your hand.
Maybe we like find where he's going, and I like I'm really fixated on the tentacle
Flashes on.
goo. Oh, I love that. Yeah, I try to take a photo, and he gets like super mad and lashes out with a tentacle and knocks my phone over.
And worst part, like you don't even really see him. It's just like a glint off of the like a glint off of one of Rocky's eyes or something, and like it's this like momentary glare, and you even get like a good view.
Yeah. And I think secretly what she's the most upset about, but she wouldn't admit, is the heart folder on her phone that she has that's like locked because it has all these photos of Rocky and like all of the information on Rocky, and also just like a bunch of Salem's art.
I was gonna say something similar to that actually, like kind of the spirit of this prompt is that this is impactful for the group as well, and if like you've been scrolling away like all of the information we've gotten up to this point, like
can it
that's kind of a blow.
I kind of this is just a pitch for you, Mila, but what if Ashley went alone and that's when this happened? So like you went to the place alone, this happened to you, none of the rest of us were there, so like it's not quite like, oh, we met the monster, like the meat creep thing, but like the phone breaking.
Yes,
because then that's also like kind of like a loss of like maybe like a breach of trust between all of us, that we've all been in this together, and then you're like, oh yeah, I went by myself and like my phone got broken, and so that also is like kind of playing into that a little bit.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah, I like that one.
Oh, what a betrayal of trust. Like we were separate at first, and then we've been, vibing and getting closer during this, and then she goes alone.
And I feel like it's like I'd want to make a charming role, so I think that also like really works with like the betray of trust of like kind of trying to be like, don't be mad at me, like
I am baby, please.
I am baby.
You're trying to keep us all
as
from
my
being
husband
mad
knows,
at you.
I am baby.
Interesting. So if your goal is like for us to, I mean, you could almost imagine our initial thing being like, why are we all doing this together then, right? And if you're trying to kind of like convince us, especially as like the character who up to this point has been sort of the most like you're putting up with all of us.
Yeah.
We're all pretty uncool. Sorry, Salem and I are uncool. Maureen is much cooler than us.
Real stereotype.
I mean, ridiculous, yes, but cool. So if that's your goal, I think that's something pretty cool. Also, if you succeed, that will full on trigger the meat creep.
Ooh. Yeah, no, I really like that. And then two is like I don't think Ashley was doing this to be like to just like go out and like do things like necessarily without you guys, but it was like I feel like she'd be like, oh my gosh, like it's golden hour, like I'm totally gonna go out and like get some like great pics.
Yeah.
And then just like, well, you don't have a phone, and it was just kind of like what, like I'm just gonna go by myself, but it wasn't necessarily malicious.
Yeah.
But I like that, like, just because you intend for something to be one way doesn't mean it's going to be that way. So I like that, and maybe she'll learn something. Some emotional growth.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
I think that's great.
Yeah.
I am just trying to think. Boy, oh boy, it's a really interesting situation where like essentially what you're trying to do is not convince the creature that you're like good and safe, but the other investigators. So I'm really trying to think of what role I want to add to this. If anyone else has any ideas, please jump in there.
I feel like potentially like we could also just like maybe we had planned to like meet up and I just went off like early by myself, and so as I'm like leaving, like I find you guys or something.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, can it be
confrontation?
Oh, I have a really good idea. Maybe can it be that you texted us like you were gonna go out, like, and just like kind of said something like basically like I'm going out to do this thing. Then your phone was broken, so we're texting you to be like, where can we meet you? Like, we want to come. Whatever. Obviously, Hudson not included, since she doesn't have a phone. And
he's dictating to us what to say.
Yeah. And so the reason why we run into each other is because you're coming back and we're heading out to look for you because now we're like worried that something happened to you.
No, I just betrayed you.
Yeah. Melanie, I think you were gonna say something too.
I was gonna say that I think what Maureen would want to do, finding out that this happened, first of all, fascinating, but she's concerned about you and concerned about the data that's lost, and is wanting to know, like, figure out a way to. The phone's probably not usable, but if there's any way to get that data and like save that.
What's your
that
cloud
is what she would try
situation?
to do.
Yeah.
Say what now?
What's your cloud storage situation?
You can't hold on to. You can't store clouds. They're like in the sky.
She's right.
Oh.
She is right.
Yeah, and
just crying.
Hudson's also just like, yeah, no, she makes a really good argument.
What do you mean by cloud?
That was not what I was talking about. I was going to see. Could you point out where you lost your phone?
Yeah, I guess if you want to take me back to the scene of the crime.
I guess we haven't like addressed the second part of that prompt. Is like, does this change the way that you feel about Rocky? Right?
Yeah.
You call it a crime.
I'm a little hurt. just because, like, he did lash out at the thing that, besides him, I hold most dear to my heart. Because, guys, I don't know if you know this, but I actually really like Rocky more than just wanting to take photos of him for my Instagram. I like Rocky, okay? And the fact that he did this does betray my trust. And, like, I don't think it was cool that he took out his frustration on my phone, and I think that's a red flag, but at the same time, he's still kind of hot. And so I think what he was really trying to tell me in his own way was that I should really work on being, like, less on the grid, you know, and be more like him and try to hide from sight. And so I think maybe I might even try taking, like, some time off of social media. Maybe for Rocky, just because, yeah, I think that might be best right now.
I mean, in relationships, you don't need to share likes and dislikes. Just because he is a recluse does not mean that you need to be.
I think we can all agree that this
No, Mace.
Something-
No, we don't.
something dramatic has happened, which is we used to just be
Jesus,
able to
Delilah.
say that Rocky was our fave. And I think this has definitely made him, at the very least, a problematic fave, which is still fun in its own way, but is a different beast.
But, like, isn't everyone always just, like, a little bit problematic, maybe?
Not in my
It's your-
experience.
Hudson
And then Maureen, stop.
Hudson fully is just gonna be like, I genuinely don't know what the fuck either of you are talking about at this point. I think I know what I want to roll. I think I want to roll curious. It's in a slightly abstract way. I kind of want Hudson to try and connect some dots in his head. Which I will explain based on my roll, I think.
Yeah.
So here's hoping. That's a 7. So that's success with a cost. I mean, I do have a card, but it is worthless to me. So it feels like I'm cheating at my own game a little if I lose that.
Isn't
know?
that the goal?
Cheating at my own game? I think I'm the one person who's supposed to follow the rules. No one else has to. Literally, no one else has to, but I think
you
I maybe
least-
should.
I think you least have to.
Yeah.
I can just rewrite the game.
Yeah, whatever you do becomes canon to the game.
Okay, tell you what. So what I have is pentacles. I know he won't like that. I'm going to say, because Hudson finds them very useful and gives them as gifts basically every Christmas. He got a really bright LED flashlight. And then it's just like, you know what, I'm thinking about this now. And I think this is not a good gift. Specifically for Rocky. It's a good gift for literally anyone else. Actually, you know what? You just lost your phone and I've seen you use that as a light before. Ashley, do you want this?
Yeah.
All right, here, I have
Yeah.
a flashlight.
Just to have
It's
something
just-
to hold.
Yeah, it's just nice to have something to hang on to.
I'm gonna throw
Thank you.
I'm gonna throw that in the little discard pile there. The dots that, the dots that Hudson is connecting is that if the flash was on your phone, we know that Rocky can't be out in the daylight. I don't think he was trying to hurt you.
Yeah.
I don't think he was
No.
trying to take something from you. I think you literally startled him with a bright light. And in hindsight, that feels obvious, but I can see how that wouldn't have occurred to you in the moment.
I think I realized that And like I do think he acted like really inappropriately because like I get that I startled him, but he really still needs to like monitor his own emotions. But yeah, I understand what went wrong.
It's an
And
explanation.
I know he wasn't trying to
not-
hurt me.
An explanation, not
Exactly.
an excuse.
Exactly.
I don't want to make
I really miss
excuses.
my phone.
I mean, hang on to that flashlight. Please don't turn it on though, because we've
I
just
won't.
established. Perfect. I don't know. Look, I don't want to excuse violent behavior. That's not cool at all. But like, he literally might have just like put his tentacles up in surprise. I don't know.
I think so. Yeah. Yeah.
What did they look like
Maybe
in
this
person?
was the universe telling me to switch to Android. They were really cute. I didn't see too much. It was really just like some light on his eyes, I assume, and then a tentacle really close by, and it just kind of looked like a tentacle, but it was really cute because it was on Rocky.
Oh, that's really sweet, actually, because that means you like him for him, you know? That's
Yeah,
what that sounds like to
I
me.
really do.
I want to be clear to chat. This is the first time I've gotten to play a game with Mila, and I'm thrilled.
Same.
That was great.
Same, and I'm also like concerned for Oleg.
Oh, I was going to write and like tag him when you said too powerful. I was like, oh yeah. Oleg can chime in here and be like, yes.
God.
Yeah, so I do want to keep us moving a little bit. That is going to end up being a +1 to your roll at the end of the scene. I'm surprised that idea came to me, so I don't know
very
what the other
good.
two of you are going to roll.
Very good.
Melanie, do you know what you want to roll to help?
No, I was gonna try to recover the files so that we could all have them.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Like figure out a way to like pull them out.
Plus, if we succeed, then we'll be in Rocky's lair if you do that. So that makes sense.
Yeah, I was wanting to like, I guess, did I just use, what did I use last? Curiosity? Did I use
Yes.
No, I used Deft because I climbed up the.
Yes, you used
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I guess Curiosity in order to. I would have to find the phone first.
But
See
isn't
where it was like.
rolling, that would be part of it, right? If you succeed on the roll, then you would find the phone.
I guess so, yeah. So my goal is to find the phone and try to take it somewhere to like I don't know how to, extract,
Yeah.
whatever SIM card hard drive thing is in this thing, but I want to take it somewhere.
No, it's an Apple product. It doesn't have any kind of expandable hard drive. It doesn't have really anything you can customize on your own. It's
Yeah.
Just to make it more difficult for you. Hey, the new ones can last underwater for an okay amount of time. And I think I dropped it in water. So we'll see.
I got an 8.
an 8 is also
See that.
a success with a cost.
And
No,
that
we
could be-
do.
Oh, you have a +1. Does that change it if you get a 9?
Yeah, you do have that floating +1.
From Bren.
Which a 9 would be just a clean success.
I mean, is that more important than something? Like saving that for something else?
It's up to you. I was just reminding you that you had it.
Thank you. Yeah, I don't know. Because we could, if we're not ready to do the meat creep.
I think we're ready.
Are we?
It's also 9:30, so just time-wise.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
feel
guess
like-
I guess we should get to it, huh? We just don't know the last like or dislike.
Yeah,
That's true.
but we don't have.
I don't
mean,
think-
we also don't have cards for it. I don't think.
I was going to say, I don't think any of us have swords in our hands.
Yeah,
Mm.
not me.
I have
Sure. I will take the +1 then. You just
I
have
have
it
3
clean.
different knives within reach.
Do you?
Okay.
In the office that I work in every day?
Weird flex, but okay.
It's not a flex, I'm just noticing this about myself.
I genuinely don't know if it's good or bad that you're showing knives on camera right now.
I mean, is there something about
I don't know if that's
against that on Twitch?
I don't know. TikTok, I know it's not good, but I don't know if it matters on Twitch. So you succeed in finding the phone.
Yeah. And then I take it to an Apple store, I guess.
Is there an Apple store in Akron, Ohio?
Probably.
Yeah. What? Yeah. For sure.
I've
They're
never
everywhere.
seen one.
I haven't seen one.
We haven't seen one because we don't have iPhones, love. Why would we ever go there?
What am I doing to help?
What was your cost there, Maureen?
She used the +1.
I use the +1. So.
Oh, you used the +1. I'm sorry, I missed that.
Really wanted me to make me pay for it.
What is Salem
Wow.
doing? I think I want to use curiosity. Since the last one I rolled was charming, so I can use curiosity. I think I'm just talking to Ashley and getting like a full play-by-play of everything that she saw, like to try to gain as much information about the creature and like what exactly did you see, what did this look like, which is already partially what Salem was doing. So I'll roll curiosity with that. So that's 7. So that's with a cost. I think the cost, because Ashley's goal for the scene is for us to be able to bond and not be mad at her anymore. So I think as we're talking, I am feeling like close to her again, but I think I'm going to take a penalty to my next charm roll because I think I'm extremely jealous. Like, as she's like talking about like briefly feeling the tentacle on her hand as the phone was ripped away, I'm just like getting so horny and jealous at the same time that I like can't contain myself, and I'm like
Someone other than Salem got slapped by a tentacle.
yeah, and like I'm like sweating a lot, so like I'm already like kind of just a gross person, but I'm did you just lower your chair? What happened?
My chair lowered very suddenly.
Okay.
Is what happened.
As where you hurt yourself. I couldn't tell from your expression if it was like, uh-oh.
No, I was just a little bit startled. And also I'm feeling guilty that it made a noise, but
it wasn't
that's all right.
that loud. Yeah, so I think I'm just like, it's affecting my charm because I'm very like rattled and like sweaty and like upset. I'm hot and bothered. So but you do get a +1, right? A 7 is a mixed success basically.
Yeah, I think all 3 of us got got a success. There's a bunny in the background, so that's exciting. So
There is, yeah.
Horny and horny.
Mila is going to get a +3 to this roll.
Good. So +3 because that, and then did anyone fail? Everyone was awesome. And then I also have another +1 too.
If you want to use it, yeah, you don't have to.
I want to use it.
Yeah, but
okay, I'm gonna see because I have a penalties for charming, which is the role I'm going for.
Oh, yeah,
so
that's right.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yes.
Shit.
I'm gonna use them all. I rolled a 4.
Okay, so you could get an. Is there a difference between a
8.
7 and an 8?
No.
No?
So
Okay,
you
then
could
I'm just gonna
keep that
use...
+1 from
Okay,
the tip.
yeah. So I'll just do, yeah, just do the +7. Could I
Yeah, so a
like
7 is, I mean, it is a success, but, with a cost.
I could I keep a penalty to charming, because I feel like now, like, it was a success, but I feel like a mixed success would be like, yeah, like Salem's still jealous, maybe you guys are like a little bit like not thrilled and like less likely to be trusting if like something like happens like again. I feel like that would
Yeah,
kind
I
of...
mean, like the fact that you rolled a thing that you had that penalty to would have, for lack of a better way to put it, like used up that penalty. So you can
Yeah,
just re-up that, sure.
yeah, I think I'm going to do that. My other idea is like to curious, because now I'm a little bit more like hesitant of like,
That's good too.
Mm.
yeah, but I think I might do curious. Let's change it up, and I'll do my curious penalty.
I should write down a note somewhere that I have minus to charm.
Yeah, now I'm a little bit more tentative about being more curious, because
Yeah.
it was, I understand, but it was still a little startling, and
Sure. Okay. So the fact that you did a charming roll means that we take a card from the clue deck and we add it
Yes.
to the meeting spread, which will in fact fill our meeting threshold.
Yes.
Ah.
Maureen's not gonna get a chance to go to that Apple store.
I already did.
You ran.
It was a 4 of swords, which is low enough that I'm a little bummed to lose it, but it's not like we have ways to get more cards right now anyway.
Yeah.
Which brings us to the final phase of the game, which is called the meat creep.
Just so nicely named, by the way. I love that.
So what the meat creep is effectively the climactic scene of our story. This is the moment where we come face to face with the creature that we've been trying to find, having only seen glimpses of them up to this point. The way this works is we are trying to get our we are trying to get our kiss me score up to 4. We're already at 1, so we got to get 3 more. And we are trying to do that before our kill me score goes up to 4, which would be bad. The way this basically works is that we are going to take turns, starting with Mila, because you got the last card onto the meeting spread. And if you have we're going to describe like, where is this meeting happening, when is it happening, are we surprised by it, we're all setting the scene together. But basically the way this works is we take turns, and we pull cards from the top of the clue deck, which basically set a difficulty for us, and each of us on our turn has to meet or beat that difficulty with a roll from one of our traits, and if we succeed at that, then we get another point in kiss me, and if we fail at that, we get a point in kill me. However, if you have gifts you can potentially give the creature, instead of pulling a card and getting a difficulty, you can just offer one of your gifts. Everybody basically clear on that?
I think so.
All right. So we, like Taylor said before, Maureen finding the phone means that we went back to Rocky's new lair to try and get to it. So we are on his home turf. So, it could happen here. It could happen later if we think we get out of there okay.
Oh,
How
we think he took the phone?
Well, I mean, Ashley was near the lair, when they kind of ran into each other. So it might just be like near the lair where she ran into him, or like I said, it's not necessarily there and it's not necessarily then. But that is like a pretty clear possible option. What do we think, gang?
I kind of think it would be cool if it happens like while we're there. Like, I feel like it'd be kind of cool if it just happens like immediately after. Like, we're having this conversation, we're kind of distracted, Maureen's like trying to figure out the phone.
We all have a moment together where like, we're all trying to comfort Ashley and stuff, and we're just kind of like one of those moments.
Maybe we're gonna be okay. And as we're all kind of like not necessarily physically huddled, but we're all kind of like near each other and trying to figure that out, the much larger than any of us expected at this point, stony mossy form is sort of rising up right behind us. I think that's where we're at. So Mila, you're up first in the meat creep. If you have any gifts to try and offer Rocky when you realize that he's right behind us, you can do that now. Otherwise, you're going to pull a card from the clue deck to set a difficulty for yourself.
I have no cards, so I will draw a clue. Do I just put it with the meeting spread?
You can either just put it on the meeting spread, or you can just put it on the top of the discard pile and flip it over, because it's really...
Let's do that.
Okay, Knight of Pentacles. So a knight, that's not like the most ideal for us. That counts as 12 for your difficulties. So on your roll, you need to meet or beat a 12. Because we have 1 point in Kiss Me right now, your roll does have a +1. You get a +1 for every point in Kiss Me that you have, but you also get a -1 for every point in Kill Me that you have. So they might cancel each other out.
Luckily, we have no Kill Me's. And I get to pick the roll.
Yes, however, it can't be the one that you just used.
No!
Because the rule still applies.
Yes.
But you can't do the same one twice.
That makes sense, and it is fair, but it really gets me this time because I don't think I can get a 12. All right, I'm going to... Oh, shoot. Because I have a penalty for curious, so that's only one, and then I have only one for deft, so I... can't do this.
Do you have a penalty
already.
for deft because of your finger, or did that already?
No, I only have yeah. I'm gonna roll for deft because it's the same. I got a 4.
All right, a 4. That is
a 5.
A 5. Yeah, you're correct.
And does going up to 6 do anything? Will that change anything for me?
No, because it's not even. It's not even based on the roll total.
Right.
So
okay.
By the card.
Okay.
Okay, so we all get a point in Kill Me.
I'm so sorry. Well, now they cancel each other.
It's an exciting moment.
I was too much hubris, and I just.
Yeah. What do you think? What do you think you're trying to deftly do here that like doesn't go well for you?
What have we done? I think it would be trying to get through like just the maybe like some like weeds or something to get through, but I'm wearing my like absolutely stupid shoes. And so like I trip.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's great.
It's like what's
Good trope.
Yep.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, cool. Let's see. What order do we want to do this in? We can do the same kind of just like you nominate someone to make the next move, or if somebody has something that they want to try, just jump in. I was considering my last roll was curious. I was considering making a deft roll.
Don't you have a gift that you
Good.
could give?
I have no cards.
I think I'm the only one
I
with
had-
a gift.
I had a
had
gift.
one.
Oh, you have.
I had one. Yeah, I just had one that he wouldn't have liked anyway.
Which was
and
the flashlight, yeah.
yeah, which was the flashlight, so I got rid of it. Yeah, if either of you wants to just go for a gift instead of me rolling.
I think that would do it, right? If we both gave a gift.
If you each gave a successful gift, we'd be up to 3, so almost. But that would set me up better for doing a roll.
Okay. Then let's do that. I have the 6 of swords. Wait, no, 6 of wands. Excuse me.
Oh yeah.
That's right, I
So
forgot you got
6
that.
of wands. Right. Yeah, that is lower, so that is a gift that he will accept, and wands are creative gifts, right? So poems, art, music, that kind of thing. So what is Maureen offering to Rocky to like try and calm him down and like show him that, you know, we are these people he recognizes, and yeah.
So it's poems, art, and music, right? Yeah. I think
type of
Maureen starts to like kind of snap. And then she's like, all you people, can't you see how your love's affecting our reality? And just beat poetry of larger than life.
Can I tell you all something that I could never have foreseen when I wrote this dumbass game?
Yes.
Every game of it I've played has had a single song that has become like the theme of that game.
Oh, that's yeah.
It's so wild. It was Beautiful Dreamer last time.
Yeah.
The first time I played it was Brown Eyed Girl.
That's so funny. The full spectrum of
It's
music.
incredible. Yeah, those are all the possible genres.
All you need.
That's so good.
I guess I'll
Music
discard
be the
this.
fruit of love. Play on.
Maureen gives me real onyx.
Yeah, I was
in the
gonna say
air.
that too. Yeah, Onyx vibes from that pod. Yeah.
That is such a huge compliment. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Salem, do you want to
Yeah.
go?
So that's
Shall I?
just a success then. If you give a gift, you don't have to roll.
Yeah,
it.
if you give a successful gift, it just adds to Kiss Me.
I also have a successful gift. And I was gonna do something different, but now with what Melanie did, I don't know if it's funnier if I do what I was gonna do. Or if I should do something different.
Talk it out. I want to hear.
I think I'm just gonna do what I was gonna do because I already thought of it. So I kind of rummage around because we had already established that I had some things that I wanted to give to the creature, and we were heading out here maybe to find it. So I think I have a backpack. And I pull out like a little CD player or something, like kind of like a boombox, I guess, but like smaller. Oh no, actually what it is this doesn't even make any sense. But you know how, like, it used to be when you had, like, an iPod, you could get one of those, like, iHome things that was, like, a speaker that you stuck it into it? That's what I have. I have an old iPod that I've loaded up with music, and I have this little speaker, and it's, like, battery operated, and I hold it above my head, and I say, Rocky, if you like that one, then this one is gonna blow your mind. And I hit play and I start singing along. You are my fire, the one desire. Believe when I say I want it that way. Yeah, and so I'm holding this little boombox.
But we are two worlds apart.
Yeah, it's like the song fits. And so I'm going to give that to Rocky, this gift of this iPod with music preloaded onto it that presumably a tentacle could operate. I think a tentacle could operate a click wheel on an old iPod.
Yeah, the scroll.
Yeah,
the tentacle would love that.
Yeah, I mean, we know Rocky likes music.
Yeah.
Hudson, who is hearing the song for the very first time here in the year of our Lord 2022. Okay.
Tell me why.
That has gotten us up to... I hate that this just popped into my head. This has gotten us up to 3 in Kiss Me. So whatever I roll is going to have a +2. Deft is currently available to me. It is my best trait. I'm going to take my +1 for insurance.
Yes.
So I'm going to have a +3 with 3 dice. And I had a different thought at first, but now that Salem has done that, I don't have any gifts available. Hudson, who, as I just said, is hearing this song for the very first time in his life, is going to dance up to Rocky.
Yes, thank God. I was hoping with all my heart that that's what you were going to say. We are really giving Triniville triplet vibes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I just, like, you all are, like, getting, like, more intimate and, like, really, like, appealing to Rocky, and I'm just, like, on the ground.
Well, hey, I could fuck this up.
Use this to my advantage.
Yeah.
We land very nice.
All right, now that we know how many things I have going for me, let's see what my difficulty is. It's not an easy one.
What do you have to
Oh
get?
my God.
That's a queen, so I gotta meet or beat a 13.
Okay.
Love, why
You
did
can
you
do it.
why did you put the deck like this? Why did you
Yes, let's all blame Tag for this.
Why'd you stack the deck like this?
Don't you want us to
Alright.
kiss a squid?
Let's see
Not a
if
squid, Rocky specifically.
specifically. Let's
Specifically. It's not that, like, any squid just gets us going. It's this one
Well,
squid
speak
creature.
for yourself.
Okay,
So-
you know what? I'm sorry. I take that back.
I'm truly fucking nervous to roll these dice right now. And I just dance up to them. Oh my god, it's a 12.
Oh no! Anyone in chat, $1. Anyone in chat? Chat,
Can
give
I
me
transfer
$1.
ownership of my +1?
Chat, give us
It is a
$1.
floating
Give us
+1.
$1.
It is
Don't-
a floating +1. Is there any
Don't
rules that
say
says
no.
you can't
Don't
have?
say no.
It's-
Give us $1.
No. It's Mila's +1.
No, I don't want it. I don't get to use it.
Well, you might, because then it'll go
You
to
might.
the
Or I
person,
could
yeah.
not. When we win, my dream of the polycule with Rocky is so much more important to me than my +1.
But
I
you
will-
could get us there, is what I'm saying. To
It's up to you all what we want want to do, because it is also almost 10. So Mila giving that +1 would take us to a wrap-up. I'm fine either way. Oh, but we don't have to, because I bullied your brother into giving us another $1.
Hero. Absolute hero.
My brother who
MVP.
hates that song.
If you yell at someone, give me $1. That's what I've learned from Billy on the street, is if you yell about $1...
Miss for $1.
For $1. For $1, would you fuck this squid?
All right, so here's...
We are, very specifically, monster fuckers.
Yeah.
Thank you.
A regular squid. No, thank you.
No.
This hyper intelligent magic stone squid, absolutely. Okay. So Hudson begins to find the beat to I Want It That Way, and then like stumbles a little bit, and everyone's like, oh no, for just a second, and then this moment of inspiration, as if from nowhere, hits him. That's the exact moment, because that is the best moment in that song. I think we all agree. That key change is pretty good. I also don't like the song, but solid. And somehow Hudson begins doing exactly the dance from the music video.
Somehow. And somehow Rocky knows that and likes it.
It's
thoroughly
playing
impressed
on
by
the
it.
little screen of the iPod.
You see
video.
a giant shining eye turn towards the iPod video, and then compare the two.
Yeah.
Is Hudson
Down
still
below.
wearing a shirt? Because I, for some reason, was picturing him ripping the shirt off to do this
Take
dance.
it off. Take it off.
just tearing open the ratty, threadbare, moth-eaten sweater he's wearing this entire time.
Ashley's just like, oh, thank God. But like, and in a normal person voice, not like, oh, thank God, but like, oh, thank God.
Salem can't
For
decide,
the first time in years.
can't decide whether it'd be more exciting if we died, because like there's something kind of hot about getting killed by a monster, so it's like, okay, either way this goes, like I'm kind of down, but then
I'm going out the way I want to, either way.
All right, that brings us to 4 under Kiss Me, folks. We've done it. And through the power of song and dance, as is apparently often the case in this fucking game. I'm imagining these powerful tentacles eventually like come towards us and around us, not in like a threatening way or a defensive way, but in a like, oh, I think I understand you way. And we have successfully romanced the monster. Well done, everyone.
Erie Canal polycule has come to fruition.
Do we do a wrap up?
Yeah. So, we need to figure out kind of an epilogue here for all of our investigators.
I think that Ashley really enjoyed the forced social media sabbatical, and because like she actually has to go out and like meet up like with like Rocky in places, she stopped wearing ridiculous shoes and bought a pair of Hunters, so they're still stupid priced. But they're a lot more practical and is taken to wearing more like clothes that like are okay to be dirty and stuff, and so she's a lot more like down to earth now and like is only on like social media in a much more healthy way. She only has like 10K followers now on the new on the new one, and she posts about hiking now.
Just typing out post-hiking content.
Yes.
You're a hiking influencer.
Yes. But there's sometimes you might see like a little bit of a tentacle, and that's like it. But like she tries to keep Rocky out of it and respect the fact that he doesn't want to be seen. And becomes a really a lot more of an in the present kind of person and partner to Rocky.
I love
That's
that.
sweet.
Oh,
I thought you were gonna say
she'll
you're
also
gonna have an OnlyFans with Rocky.
No, Rocky wouldn't be into that. I also now allow myself to be seen with all of you. So
Wow.
I've really grown as a person.
Wow.
Yeah,
Are you
I
in
just
love with us? Wow.
a little bit, honestly. Yeah, I just really respect our polycule.
Hudson hasn't noticed any difference in Ashley, but is just sort of accepts that and lets it wash over him. I think Hudson, who Melanie knew this, but lives in a houseboat, because obviously he lives in a houseboat on the canal,
Yeah,
which
absolutely.
I'm roughly 1,000% sure is illegal. But anytime he's ever been,
I don't think
You
it
work for the
is.
parks.
I've seen TikTok influencers who.
I don't on in the Ohio and Erie Canal.
I don't know if it's specifically of the Ohio and Erie Canal, but canals, yeah. There's like places
Yeah,
that you can tie your boat off to.
Sure, I don't think that the one near us has that.
I don't know.
I know
In
for a
this world,
fact.
it does.
I know for a fact you can rent a houseboat on the other Erie Canal, which is a thing I learned earlier today. In any case, I'm sure his does not have any documentation whatsoever.
Yeah.
And if he's ever been asked about that, he's like, I'm sure it's fine. What would be illegal about it? It's my house.
International waters.
Right. He has moved the houseboat near the old building where Rocky like hides out during the day, and even though it still looks really broken down on the outside, so that nobody goes in, he has tried to go in and like help fix it up a little bit so that it's like more structurally sound and ideally less likely to get fully condemned. And is just trying to make it more comfortable for Rocky inside the building. And I think you just generally find him down in that area, like, you know, you see him first thing in the morning with his cup of coffee standing on a shitty houseboat outside an abandoned mill. And that's the place where he's happiest now. And if he ever still does tours, they are on fully different parts of the canal.
Yeah.
Smart. I think I should go next because I think the Salem should wrap up this thing.
Depends on what note we want to end on.
I have a
So
feeling
Salem
note's
should
gonna
end the
on,
game.
and that's what it needs to end on.
Okay.
Melanie said what she said.
I think as we are being sort of engulfed by his massive form, Maureen puts her hand up against a tentacle and looks in one of those big eyes, and she flashes back to that night when she was very, very young, and these same tentacles had wrapped around her and saved her from drowning. And she just looks into his eyes and is like, it's always been you. And I think she spends her evenings swimming in the canal with Rocky, and spends her days with the three of you. She has changed her life to focus on the aquatic life in and around Northeast Ohio, which there's not the same kind of aquatic life that she's used to, but what really matters to her is here. And I think sometimes she still slips into this kind of talking voice, but we'll shrug it off and talks like a regular Northeast Ohio.
Regular American.
A regular American.
Hudson is dramatically more fond of Ashley than Maureen now that he knows that they both have like just regular voices.
No, Ashley never went back to not using she keeps using like her voice. It's just you maybe heard like one time her using normal voice.
Thank God.
Yeah, but he knows now.
Yeah. Like I think that her having a normal voice is more of a cryptid type thing than Rocky was. 4 people might know. Or sorry, 3 people might know.
Oh my gosh. Salem. So you said you spend your days, Maureen, you spend your days with the other 3 of us. You don't see Salem that much after the events of the time, because she is just spending all of her time just getting railed. Just either
I thought that was a given for all of us.
Either-
Hang on.
Oh yeah, I thought this was just things we were doing
the
in
unspoken
between.
thing.
well, either getting railed by Rocky, or I think previous to this, like the comments on my I was always more of a visual artist than like a writer, but I did write. And the comments were always like, this seems like it's been written by someone who has never had sex, like doesn't understand what's going on. Like this doesn't make any sense. And then there was like a month or 2 where she wasn't posting.
Yeah.
And then came back and it was like, this is too visceral. Like, this is too accurate. This person has information that no one should know. And so it's either like, yeah, I'm hanging out with you all, obviously spending a lot of time with Rocky, and then the time that I'm not spending with Rocky, I'm writing furiously, and posting online.
I'll like come back and like have a coffee and just like put it in front of you like as you're like writing. Just be like, here you go.
Yeah, I need a lot of coffee and water delivered to me.
Gotta stay hydrated.
I need to stay
for
hydrated.
what you go through.
Is that what we
Wow,
wanted?
what a beautiful story.
Oh, I love romance.
I know, this is just peak. Oh my gosh.
And folks,
I feel fulfilled, personally.
we're gonna have another stream like this. Not exactly the same, but similar.
But worse.
But so much worse.
So much worse.
Because we're gonna see.
I have ideas for Piss Boy. I have ideas.
Yeah, I'll be in contact with the 2 of you about Piss Boy, and then I'll also be in contact with our other friend who was supposed to join us for this one, but wasn't able to. And she wanted to play this game, so I'm going to see if she's available to play the Piss Boy stream, because that'll be great. That'd be the dream.
God, I hope so.
I also hope so.
Just replace me.
It's gonna be great. You're gonna see people play it without you. It's gonna be really rewarding.
Oh God, that would be great for me.
Yeah.
It's a shame this is how it has to happen, but I'll take it, honestly.
Wonderful. Okay, well, that is gonna wrap up the stream. Really quick before we go, let's let everyone know where else they can find us. I'll go first. You can find me here. You're already here. If you're not following me, you can follow me. Or if you don't want to, I would understand. after what's going to transpire. You can also follow me on Twitter, @RollForFelicity. You can subscribe on YouTube to see other VODs of things that I have done. Those are the main other places you can find me. Oh, and on TikTok. I have a TikTok. I'm not very good at posting on it, but I do post clips and things like that. I'm trying to get better about it. And all of that is just Roll for Felicity. Who am I gonna pick on next? Melanie, you can go next. Where else can people find you? What else you got going on?
Sorry. Just responding to Mila in the chat.
Yeah.
Hi. I'm Melanie. You can find me here sometimes. Other times I am, doom scrolling on twitter.com at Lemony Trues, and sometimes posting stories on Instagram at the same name. Get at me there.
Yeah, Mila, what about you?
Yes, I'm Mila. I post on here. My brain is full of monsters and other things. I stream on Twitch. I stream here where you currently are, under Troll Mila. And I am a variety streamer who plays a variety of Kingdom Hearts. You can find me here. I also recently rolled out a new Discord. So if you're into Kingdom Hearts, Dimension 20, just all that fun stuff, you can go there and we can chat about it. And if you go to my Twitch page, it's under socials right there. So that's about 2 clicks and then you can join. And then I also post on twitter.com, troll_Mila. And yes, that's where you can find me.
Yeah, and what about you, Tig?
I hope you enjoyed this weird game that I made. Check out my games. Follow me on Twitter, I guess. Please follow me on Twitch. I really, really want the emotes. If you don't already. That would be great. However, I often like to close out streams on Taylor's channel with shouting out somebody else who I like because it makes me feel mildly less gross about doing my own plugs. I don't know if she's still in the chat, but Sam Lee was in here for a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Goblin Mixtape on Twitter, and I think same name on TikTok. She does excellent videos and game recommendations on TikTok. She's also an amazing game designer. She wrote an incredible, also tarot-based game called Anamnesis that is so good. And her games are much less stupid than mine. Like, go check out her stuff.
There's no need to compare the two. To hype up her game, you don't need to compare the two.
You can also hire her to do playlists for games and stuff, right?
Yeah. She also does commissions for playlists. I think she'll do them about like characters that you play and about good. Games. She made one for okcryptid, which is part of why I'm excited to shout her out, because it's really, really good. It's like the exact kind of music I was listening to constantly while writing the game, and it's really, really great. So go throw money at her and check out the stuff she makes.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I am going to wrap up with chat. But before that, do you all want to say goodbye to chat? Wave goodbye, everyone.
Wow.
Goodbye.
Bye, chat.
Goodbye.